Hello, everybody. Today is Sunday, January 29th, 2011, and you're listening to episode 146 of On Tap, our Games of the Decade episode.
It was my idea!
Hello!
It's an awesome idea.
Mine, all mine. I'm claiming credit for this one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm claiming credit for reminding you guys to make up your list earlier today.
I'm claiming credit for
School?
renting this apartment that we're all in.
I made up my list too earlier today. It's been hella busy these last few weeks. And then, thinking of all these games that came out the past decade, or technically 11 years, because we're doing it from 2000 to 2010, so that looks way better on paper than 2000 to 2009. So it's technically best games of the past 11 years.
Yes.
We'll still say decade. In case you haven't heard, I'm Dale, and joining me as always is Chris and Liz Harpster.
Hello!
And yeah, so before we jump into our games of the decade, just kind of like our couple episodes ago when we did our games of the year episode, we're kind of using most of the similar awards we did for that, and we also are using some listener awards too, and we'll be running down some listener picks for games of the decade too, as voted on our forums that are hosted part of the VG Evo podcast network.
I changed one of the awards names.
I changed one too. I kind of took a few liberties.
I might
Can
have.
I tell you the award I changed its name real quick?
Sure.
I changed non-2010 Game of the Year to non-decade Game of the Year.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing.
Game of the Decade.
I did the exact same thing.
It's...
I had
decade.
a few games I played a lot throughout this last decade that came out in the 90s, so it was only appropriate. Alright, so before we go into these crazy awards, and we're going to finish things off with our top 20 games of the decade too, so this is going to be quite a show.
I need to think some more then.
Well, before we hop into our games we've been playing lately, we actually got an email. And
yes, we do.
It's about Lotro, isn't it?
Yep, it's about Lotro, and Chris and Liz, this one was actually sent just for you, so I'm just going to read it for you guys. And this comes from listener Omega Spider 227, and here's what he has to say. Hey guys, I'd like to ask a question. Will I hate Lord of the Rings Online for its combat, like so many MMOs before it? Not sure if it's my computer or what, but Zune seemed to hold all the episodes from the last few months until recently, and I've been listening to them one by one whenever I have time. Thanks, man. By writing this email, I'm finishing episode 141. So if you manage
What episode are we on again?
146.
Okay.
But he wrote this January 2nd, so he's probably all caught up by now.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe his Zune is working.
Yeah. I have one, so I feel his pain. He goes on to say, through this, I've learned about the apparent wonders of Lord of the Rings Online. Really?
Okay, cool.
You're awesome.
Or if you listen to the first couple years of our show, Final Fantasy XI, right?
Yes.
Anyways, he goes on to say, in years past, I've tried many MMOs, both pay and free to play, but I've never really got past level 20 or so. I think this is because of the combat, specifically the cooldown system. I've always hated the cooldown systems when there's no explanation. I've been playing an MMO called Vindictus for the past few months and have loved it. Vindictus takes a more action-oriented approach, and instead of finding a way to make soloing better, it makes it easier to find a group to fight with instead. There's little to no cooldown from attacking, and I enjoy it significantly better than other MMOs. Of course, you can still solo when you're strong enough, but the party system works extremely well in my opinion. Vindictus is developed by DevCat, published by Nexon, by the way. Anyway, the main point of this email is, do you guys think I would like Lord of the Rings Online, specifically its combat? And that comes from Omega Spider 227. Thanks for the email, man. Chris,
Yeah.
Liz, what's your expertise?
Well, I can start with talking about the cooldown frustration, because I can understand where you're coming from. In Lotro, at the lower levels, the cooldowns can be kind of a pain in the bottom. Especially in combat when you don't have a whole lot of skills to begin with. But as you level your characters, you get so many skills. Like, for instance, my Guardian, when she first started out, I only had, I think, 5 skills. And yeah, the cooldown was a pain in the butt. And I was always, okay, I got to auto attack. But, by the time she hit about level 25, 30, that cooldown wasn't a problem because I just went through the chain of attacks. And by the time I got done with my chain, they were cooled down. And another great thing is once you hit level 50, you can get things called legendary items. excuse me, and you can trait those to lower cooldowns as well as work toward getting deeds to lower your cooldowns through that as well. Like on my Minstrel, I've got an in-combat res that the base cooldown on it is 30 minutes. Legendary weapon, I could party. So, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think towards the beginning of the game, it's annoying because you have so few attacks, especially if you're a captain. Yeah.
Everything.
The typical attacks, it's maybe 5 to 30 seconds. They do have attacks that they take about an hour to cool down, but those are
Those are like uber special moves, and if you were to imagine putting yourself in the position of having to execute that move, you could think about how taxing that would be on the person to do it.
Yeah.
Or, like the in-combat res, it's actually a very taxing move to use. So, I mean, I can understand why it's actually got a longer cooldown.
Chris, I see you're just checking out some YouTube footage of Vindictus in action there. How does that, can you tell anything right away from that little footage montage?
Not really, because the footage that I'm seeing right here, it doesn't actually show, like, I imagine there's user bars on the bottom and everything. It doesn't show anything.
Well, it looks just like kind of like up close stuff.
Yeah, it just kind of like shows you a trailer of it, kind of, more or less. So.
I'm sure if you dig more, you could probably find some.
Yeah, I'm trying to look, but basically, if you ever try like World of Warcraft, the cooldown system is kind of like that. I guess I really haven't played that much in World of Warcraft, but it didn't.
The cooldowns make more sense in LOTRO than they did in Guild Wars, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like LOTRO.
Vindictus.
So you think he'll dig the combat in LOTRO then pretty much?
I think what he's more looking for is Conan, the MMO.
Hey, I remember that one was more of a hack and slasher.
Yeah, that one's a hack and slash. There is no cooldown on moves. I mean,
Oh, I'm looking at some Vindictus, where you can see the user bar and the cooldowns now. They're about the same as LOTRO.
there are cooldowns?
Yep, there's slight cooldowns, but they're about the same as LOTRO.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you like Vindictus, I think that you'd be just fine in LOTRO. Certainly try it with the free-to-play. I would actually, if you don't like a lot of cooldowns, I would recommend probably either a champ or a guard.
Okay.
Because those are the two that seem to have the least amount of cooldowns at the lower levels.
Cool.
So, I hope that helps you out a little bit.
Yeah, thanks again for writing in, man. And if anyone else has any questions they'd like to ask us about anything, be it for some little LOTRO pro tips from Chris and Liz here, or just anything, past episodes or whatnot, what's that email address, guys?
Mailbag at ontappodcast.com.
All right.
I
got it.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, LOTRO is free to play, so you don't have anything to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shot.
See what you think of it.
Yeah.
Send us a tell.
Yep. Go to the Firefoot server. Send us a tell. And somewhere.
We actually recently switched kins.
Yes. There's a thread on the OnTap forums with our server information and our characters and all that stuff.
Indeedy. All right, so why don't we hop into what we've been playing next here?
We're switching it up, Dale.
Yeah, I figure we just knock it out at the beginning since the games of the decade. So I'm sure probably by the time we're done with that, we're just probably gonna be ready to. I know I'll probably be ready to pass out, anyways. But
Crash and burn.
Yes. So
That's not water you're drinking.
What?
Nothing.
Yep.
Never mind.
All right, who wants to start it off today?
Me.
All right.
I have been playing Space Invaders 2 on my Nintendo DS. I picked that game up because I saw it at Walmart, and I was like, oh, cool. Multiplayer single card, so it's like Mario Kart, and it'd work great at MGC.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's literally why I bought it, and I'm like, I'm probably not really gonna like it, and then I came home, and of course I had let Professor Layton drain the battery on my DS, and I couldn't find my charger, so I actually bought a new charger for my DS.
Oh wow.
I paid $1.50.
Oh no.
It's
So
not a big
expensive.
deal. It got here last weekend. And, I charged my DS up and I tried this game out and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. It's like Galaga with voice acting. Like, it's the
Nice.
same 2D side-to-side movement. You push one button to, shoot
But they got
your
all
little
kinds
pellets, and they've got some pretty cool upgrades.
And this version has all kind of like trippy graphics and music too,
Yeah,
right? It
it
interacts with how you play.
It is.
Yep,
It's really
I
cool.
love that version. It's on Xbox Live Arcade also. I played it
Okay.
on there, yeah.
See, I really enjoy it. And I also picked up, what's it called? Sonic Dale. I'm pointing at it.
Sonic Classic Collection.
Yeah,
I'm
that.
pointing at, yeah.
Yeah, I started a game of Sonic 1, and it saves your progress on the DS.
Oh, sweet.
So that's pretty sweet. You don't have to play it all in one sitting.
No checkpoints.
Right. Let's see, what else? I played some Chuzzles on my iPod. I almost said iPhone. I want an iPhone. I played Alchemy on Chris's phone.
You don't want an iPhone.
I played another version of Alchemy on my iPod.
And iPhones are finally going to be available here
They
in
are.
this region of North Dakota anyways.
I know.
When almost everywhere else has been enjoying them for like, what, the past 3-4 years?
If not
Everybody
longer.
else on AT&T.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I've been playing is, of course, I'm sure everyone can guess it, Lotro.
Yay.
Lotro. I love that game.
Alright, Chris, what says you?
I have been playing Lotro.
No way.
Yeah. I have also been playing some games on my droid. I've been playing Angry Birds. A game
Train game.
You like an Angry Birds?
It's okay.
Oh yeah, I played that too.
I know it seems to be the rage. I know a lot of people on VG Evo community.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's an okay game. It reminds me of a lot of games I played on addictinggames.com. And I've been playing for some reason, there's a game out there called Cross Construct. It's basically, you have a gap and you have to construct a bridge out of so many girders and everything for a train to successfully cross over it without crashing. For some reason, that game is fun. I have no idea why.
He's addicted to it.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys ever check out a Game Dev Store yet on Android or iPod?
Game Dead Store?
Game Dev Story. Game Developer Story.
No. Oh, no, I haven't.
No.
That's been getting a lot of good talk too. It's pretty much like, I think I brought it up an episode or two ago to you guys.
Yeah, I did.
I saw screenshots and all. It's like pretty much like SimCity, but you're a video game developer. And it looks really cool. It has like Earthbound style graphics. It looks like, but an isometric perspective. I think you guys might dig it since it sounds like you guys are really getting into the iPod, iPhone games or whatever, Android.
Mm-hmm. And then I've been playing Spaghetti and Marshmallows.
He introduced me to that.
Yeah, that one's fun too.
I could understand why it would be addicting.
See, you shouldn't get an iPhone because you have an iPod Touch.
The wind blew my spaghetti and meatballs over.
The what?
The wind blew my structure over.
Yeah, I mean, the
the
iPod
frogs
Touch,
keep on.
pretty much
keep on eating my
iPhone,
mushrooms.
but no phone, obviously.
Yeah. So if you got an Android, you can have the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't look convinced.
No, she doesn't.
I give him a pet to have. He can hold it and pet it and squeeze
And
it.
call it George.
All right. Well, I got a little bit of a laundry list as always. This is just covering the last 2 weeks here. So
Yeah, because you're not in school anymore.
I graduated.
You graduated.
Quitted.
Yeah. So I got a little spare. And it's winter too, so, combine that, and it's like, stuck at home pretty much. It's like, oh, go outside in our awesome sub-zero weather we usually have. Or, play games. And I choose the later.
Play games.
Play games. But, I'll just, obviously the usual, Pinball Effects 2, Marvel Pinball. And I was trying the PS3 version of Marvel Pinball earlier today. I was listening to, give a quick shout out and congratulations to PS Nation podcast, a fellow VG Evo Network podcaster. Got long-time listeners probably remember having all their co-hosts have been on here before. Glenn, Josh, even go back to Mark and Jared. They've all been on here. They just celebrated their 200th episode here last week.
Nice.
So they just had a big live broadcast too, so congratulations to them.
Cool.
I was listening to their 200th episode while trying to beat, and their host Glenn kind of has this running joke where, I know I brought up before, a couple times before too, in case you haven't heard, we got this kind of running competition to top each other's high scores on pinball, Zen Pinball, Marvel Pinball, and I got a bunch of his scores beat on Zen Pinball, but on Marvel Pinball, the new one on PSN, he has me beat on all 4 tables, and I just can't come close. There's one of them I'm like just a few million shy, but the other ones he has a pretty good gap over me. And I was playing today, I just kept having these.
So a million isn't a good gap?
A few million he has. That's the closest I got to being one of his high scores. All the other ones are like 10 to 20 million. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just can't touch him on this one. I think he must have got a hold of the developers at Zen and told them to rig my PSN ID account so where the tables automatically screw with me. So, like like the ball gravity is automatically centered towards the table, and like I have a higher percentage of hitting the gutter lanes, and my combos. I feel my combo multipliers are feeling I'm getting gypped on. So, I know what's up, Glenn. You're rigging things up. I'm just kidding, but and of course, Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations, usually a couple times a week before passing out. I finally beat the second case last week, which was awesome, and I actually got a text from a friend who just beat Trials and Tribulations, and they told me that I have to beat the game because they said the final case is awesome. So I got to plow through it. That, and because I got a ton of other DS games I want to play. I got Last Window, the sequel to Hotel Dusk, I want to play, and Apollo Justice, the next installment of the Phoenix Wright series, and also Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Files. That's another one in this series. And I just ordered 2 more DS games in the same.
Jeez.
Like, I know Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, which is like made by the creator of the Phoenix Wright games, so I had to be all over that. And 999, kind of like another big mystery drama style storytelling puzzle game, kind of like the vein of, I think, of Hotel Dusk, which I was a big fan of. So yeah. Let's see here. Other than that, I've revisited Halo 3.
Nice. Nice.
Matt, who's been on the show before, he was going through it online, and I kind of played a few levels with him here and there online campaign. And I told him, hey, when you get to the last couple levels, let me know, because I love Halo 3. I really love the last couple levels, and we ended up playing those online with like a couple other people, and just it was a blast. And then we immediately started up Halo Reach's campaign on Legendary. He's like, all right, let's hop on to Reach. Did like the first 3 or 4 levels on Legendary, and then we played some multiplayer, because I was like, oh, hey, since you want to play some multiplayer? It's been a while since I played some multiplayer for Reach, and Matt's not usually a big competitive online multiplayer gamer. He's usually more just single player co-op, and but he was actually getting into it, and I forgot how much I enjoyed Halo's online multiplayer. It's just been forever since I played I think since Extra Life, actually, and I just had a blast. We had a blast playing. We started off some Team Slayer deathmatch, kind of showed him the ropes of online, some of the modes there, and then we played a ton of multi-team matchmaking, and we were really digging Headhunter mode and Rocket Race. Just fantastic times online. Other than that, finally beat Lego Rock Band. That was another one. Matt and I we kind of slowly cracked away at it for a lot last year, progressing through the career, and like they got these cool like not boss battles, but kind of like little story levels, which have cutscenes playing while you play the song. And we're playing it pretty regularly, and then we just kind of stopped about, I think like May was the last time it showed on the game history we got an achievement on it. And then we've been meaning to get back to it for a long time. We finally got back to it. Turns out we only had about a half hour of like song tracks left to play before we got to the last level. And we still got like, I think like 15, 20 miscellaneous gigs to play, but we already got like the core story done. So
nice. That's
finally out of the way. Another one I kind of wrapped up. It's been kind of like a big backlog catch-up week, actually. Risk Factions. I beat that story mode. That had just like a short 5-mission campaign. I kind of saved my campaign 3.5 missions into it, and I was like, I should pick this up. So I finally finished that. And I played a game online too, which I was surprised I won, which was just kind of shocked me, because usually I suck at Risk Online. Also in the backlog, Death Smiles, a shmup that came out last year, about a little under a year ago, on the 360. Plowed through that. I want to play through it again because it has a few different ways to play the game. And it was a fun little game. Also, SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. Done. After like just barely starting it last year, the game has like 6 separate story modes in there. Each one takes about 2 to 3 hours to finish. I only beat one of them. I spent a week and beat the other 5 and did a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff. So I got that done. I can finally start 2011 now. And so yeah, that's all out of the way. And now I'm working on Yakuza 3. I don't know
Cool.
if you guys familiar with the Yakuza games at all that were released on
not
PS2 or
offhand.
PS3.
I've heard of them.
They're kind of considered the spiritual successors to Shenmue, because you're kind of walking around an open world, little kind of mini open worlds, and obviously Yakuza's a Japanese mafia, and it's like this big crime soap opera, and you just kind of go around trying to not like take control of the Japanese mafia, but you kind of just like a lot of shady underdealings behind the scenes stuff, and just this big overarching plot. And the 4th game's already out in Japan. It's supposed to be coming out, I think, in America this year. So, been making a lot of headway into that game. I think I'm on like chapter 6 or 7 right now. And a little Tetris on PSN also. Been really digging the PlayStation Network version of Tetris. Played a bit online. The online works great, barely any loading times, and it's just real simple, easy pick up to play. Probably like the best version of Tetris I've played since Tetris DS. And a few other multiplayer games with some other friends, some old favorites here. Did a lot of Madden, NFL 10, the new NBA Jam. Got around playing a couple games of that. Plays just like the original, super fun. And Need for Speed Undercover. So making pretty good progress on those. And finally, I saved the best for last. Since our last recording, finally played StarCraft 2.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice.
Dale's talking about a PC game. I
Dale
didn't
now has a PC that can run
Yeah,
it.
I got a PC that can actually play games that are at least 5 years old now. I like it. It's really cool. I haven't did the campaign. I want to. I just been doing playing with some coworkers online, just kind of tearing up against computers, getting familiar with all the races. It's been mostly Terran, but now I'm starting to get familiar with Protoss now. Just killing the computers, starting to get familiar with it all, starting to feel a little confident with Terran there, and we're starting to go against hard-level computer opponents, so I was kind of a little bummed because like, oh, where's the medic from StarCraft 1 and then like some of the other StarCraft and Brood War units, and but getting used to the new units and also I love them, I dig it. I trust Blizzard and all their stuff. Blizzard can do no wrong. But I guess my buddy found some cool custom user maps that people created with Blizzard's awesome campaign editor. They created maps that have the StarCraft 1 units. So you can if you play, I guess, custom user maps, you can play with the original StarCraft and Brood War units and also current units. So it was really cool. So yeah, that's my usual super crazy long list of what I've been playing.
Jeez.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah, a few.
I think I've been playing LOTRO too much. I keep looking for the button to push to talk. I'm like, I don't have it on my mouse!
It's the on-off switch.
Oh, you know what we were doing to do for voice chat while playing StarCraft 2 with the 2 other people I was playing with?
What's that?
One guy didn't have a computer mic, and I kept telling him, like, dude, just get a stationary microphone. It's only like $15-20 at Best Buy, whatever. You can probably even find them cheaper online.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, I don't have one yet. So me and the 2 other guys, we created like a voice chat lobby in PS3.
Oh, nice.
So we're talking with our headsets, just this kind of like this jury-rigged system of.
You had a
just,
Bluetooth headset?
Yep, the Bluetooth. We all had wireless Bluetooth headsets for the PS3, so
Okay.
yeah, that's how we were rolling.
Nice.
So
Wait, so you can afford a Bluetooth headset, but not a...
I just don't think he just never got around to getting one because he doesn't PC game that much.
Okay. That makes sense, yes.
But neither do I until now, I guess. But all right, so you guys ready to start off this
This awesome killer list.
awesome list? All right, well,
Do it!
yeah, we're just gonna start down with like I said earlier, we kind of arranged it. We got a lot of the same categories we did from our Game of the Year show for the Decade of the Year, of course, but we kind of tinkered with a few. Some I didn't really include because they kind of really only apply to some certain games for last year only, and so I'm sure we all kind of did a couple little twinkering and stuff like that. So, and then we're gonna jump to the listener categories, and we also got our own awards for the categories the listeners came up with too. So, and then we're going to finish things off with our top 20 games of the year. So, And just like, we didn't really have any actual order to the way this list came down to. I just kind of threw it all together. So, just alphabetically according to the list we did for the few episodes ago. So, let's kick it off. Best 360 exclusive game. Who wants to start?
One of you.
Chris.
Okay.
Best 360
Actually,
exclusive
I
of
put
the
the
decade.
360 exclusive games in the bottom, so you can do PS3, 360,
Oh.
GameCube, PS2, Saturn.
So what's your
PS1,
what's your Xbox 360 best exclusive?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Assassin's, that's not an exclusive.
Oh crap, exclusive. That's right.
Well, it's the best game you played on 360.
Gears of War 2.
Okay. Alright.
How's that?
Oh, so I guess it's safe to say Assassin's Creed 2 is like your best multi-platform game?
Yes.
Okay. Of that generation, anyways. Cool.
Dale, you next.
Alright, well, for 360 exclusive, I just kind of threw these two up there. They went hand in hand with each other. I'm a big fan of Halo 3 and Gears of War 2. Spent a ton of time on both. Halo Reach is too recent for me to say if it's really worthy of the decade, or at least the 360's lifespan anyways. At least Halo 3, Gears 2 had long legs. I still keep going back to Gears 2 online, and I just loved both of their campaigns, so there you go. Liz, what's your 360 exclusive?
My exclusive is, it was kind of a tie between Gears of War 1 and Halo Reach. Because I really and truly, I absolutely loved the Krill levels on Gears, just because it made you think. And it made you have to get creative about how you were going to cross that map.
Mm-hmm.
And Halo Reach, just because it gave us the prelude to the story, and it let us, see what the people on Reach had gone through, and it let us follow this group of 6 soldiers that are just kind of, they know they're going to die.
Yeah.
They know there's no way they're getting off this rock alive. But they're going to do everything in their power to take as many out with them as they can.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, I really got drawn into it.
Alright, cool. So, should we just knock out all the system ones now and then just go down the list?
Sure.
Alright, Chris, what system do you have next?
I had the PS3. Next.
The PS3?
Yep.
What do you got?
Best exclusive game that I've played. I like Devil May Cry 3. Or sorry, yeah, that's PS2. Best exclusive. Jesus, what the hell am I? I think I have a headache.
You want to switch to
Resistance
PS2?
1. Resistance 1. That's the reason I bought the PS3.
Yeah, that's a great exclusive, actually.
Sorry, this list is the best of the systems.
I remember we never thought that campaign was going to end, but each level maintained just an awesome pace.
It was way better than Resistance 2.
Yeah, Resistance
God.
2 was... No, it didn't suck, but just nothing...
There's no multiplayer, hardly. It's just some thrown together, cheaply done campaign.
Yes, co-op missions, not actual co-op campaign, and I mean, it was cool, but I wanted something different.
Hopefully Resistance 3 will make up for it.
I guess for me, my best PS3 exclusive was, I went with Uncharted 2. I guess you could just say the Uncharted series 2 as a whole I've been loving and just highly anticipated, and I'm highly anticipating Uncharted 3. So, yeah, Uncharted 2. And the movie, no, I don't know about the movie. We'll see. We'll wait until if the trailers look promising. But Uncharted 2 just delivered big time. I even just revisiting the multiplayer here a few weeks ago. The multiplayer is awesome. I had a lot of good times online with it, and the campaign I just did not want to put down. Awesome campaign. Doesn't go off into the super crazy supernatural land like the first one did. So, yeah, I'm going with Uncharted 2. How about you, Liz?
I said Infamous because...
I was thinking of that one, too.
That whole thing where he's in this huge catastrophe, and it was one of the first games I played with the current gen where you had to make this huge moral decision, and I don't know, I like games like that. And it was just, he's got this power that he's like, oh crap, now what do I do? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun with it. Mm-hmm. So, and the action was just awesome.
She was dead before I got here.
Sequel's coming out this year.
Yep.
I know.
Alright, Chris, what's the next system you got, man?
Well, we already did 360, so I got the Wii.
Wii.
Mario Kart. It's always got to be.
Now,
the best.
was this this system require a lot of serious thought of like the 4 years and some odd months of Wii releases?
I only have like 12 games for it. No,
They're not even all games.
No, just I don't know. The Wii is not to me like a gaming machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the
Oh, it is. But.
It is, but compared to the PS3 and 360,
Yeah. They got a lot of good stuff, but it's kind of, I know a lot of core gamers are kind of writing it off. We're all writing it off. I know a lot of other people are too, just because it doesn't appeal to our demographic, kind of.
No,
it's more of a casual family system,
mm-hmm.
which is a shame because there's a lot of good Nintendo stuff and even third-party stuff on there too.
Yeah, there is.
For me, I didn't even list a Wii exclusive game because I haven't even played. I think like the past 2 years, I probably only played Wii for like maybe 2 hours at like your guys' place and friends' places. I've barely played the Wii, and when I owned it, probably Wii Sports got the most play, and maybe Metal Slug Anthology. So I'm just kind of exempting myself from the Wii exclusive. Do you got anything, Liz? I know you've played at least a fair amount more.
I just got hit in the face with this one, so I'm gonna go with EA Active.
Okay.
Should be hit in the face with it?
I didn't have it on the
list
list
we were
here.
putting a Wii exclusive on there.
Oh.
You kind of didn't tell any of us, just like you didn't say anything about the other systems that you mentioned.
Yeah, Chris. What's up, man?
Well, what do you expect?
Damn you and your logic of having all these other systems of the past decade.
I said EA Active because, that's one that I put the most time in, and it's really nice because it's one that kind of pushes you to think healthier, and every day you put in what you ate the day before, and if you were honest, it'll tell you, well, you want to probably try to have more of this and less of that, and try to do this a little bit more, and I like how they incorporated the leg band to put the nunchuck on your leg, the sense. Are you actually getting the right angle with the floor to do this exercise properly? So I liked it.
Cool. All right, what's the next system you got, Chris?
Okay, the next system I got is the Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. Games that came out starting in 2000.
Yes.
Like 3 months after its
3
launch.
months after it was released, yes. And really a lot of the Dreamcast games are now ported to other systems after the Dreamcast is dead.
Yeah, they're
so really there's not too many.
Well, just best game you played on the Dreamcast.
I like Grandia 2, but that's no longer exclusive because that's on the PS2. So I would say Shenmue.
Shenmue. I guess if I was to go Dreamcast, yeah, Shenmue for sure. Shenmue 1 and 2, loved them both.
I'm looking for some sailors.
You sure are. And I'll throw out some nods to Demolition Racer No Exit and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Just 2 more games I played the crap out of. Oh yeah, Fire Pro Wrestling D.
Yeah, but that was imported, right?
It's still a Dreamcast game.
Yeah. I would say also Skies of Arcadia. I really like that one. Of course, Power Stone 2 was awesome.
Yeah, Power Stone 2. Forgot about that guy, yeah.
Hydro Thunder.
That was the launch game, Chris. That was 99.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Why don't you try and throw a cheap one on here?
Yeah.
Do you got a favorite Dreamcast game, Liz?
Crazy Taxi?
Hey, there you go.
that's a good one.
Yep.
And 2 was on it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All right, what's the next system you got, Chris?
PS2.
PS2. I don't know, man. They didn't make that many games for it.
I don't know. There's only a couple hundred.
If you think about it, it's kind of like the ideal game for this whole for a system of all the systems because they had non-stop games for it from 2000 through 2010.
Yeah, October 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
the only game I can think of like spending like tons of time in it is Final Fantasy X. So I'll just write that one down. Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X. Wow. I'm kind of surprised. I know you play a ton of other RPGs on there. I'm surprised that 10 was the one that holds up the most to you.
It was probably the biggest, or which is another category, the biggest leap in graphics I've seen.
Yep.
9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
And actually had a really good storyline behind it too. And it was one of those games that when it ended, there was so much of an outrage from the community that Square Enix actually published a 10-2 just to calm them.
I guess this is kind of
What?
this is kind of.
Final Fantasy 10-2, X2.
Oh.
I guess this is kind of relevant, but did you hear how Square just announced 13-2?
13-2, yep. I haven't beat 13 yet.
You haven't really put much time into it, period.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I put like an hour into it. I should just restart it. All right. I guess best PS2 game for me is exclusive anyways. I was a big fan of, I'll just say Grand Theft Auto 3, and I guess you say throw Vice City and San Andreas in there too.
That was on the 360 and the Xbox.
That was on the original Xbox.
San Andreas, but they all were timed exclusives,
They're timed exclusive.
on the PS2. Like I don't.
PS2 is exclusive for a long time.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 I think took like 2 years to come out on Xbox, and I think Vice City and San Andreas both took like a year also. So I think almost any, or probably majority of gamers you'd ask probably consider it a PS2 game more than anything. So I'd say Grand Theft Auto 3, just because the way it revolutionized the genre, or really kind of was like the big pioneer for it, which kind of led to tons of open world sandbox games still coming out today. I mean, without Grand Theft Auto 3, would we have an Assassin's Creed or a Crackdown or Saints Row?
Carbon.
Yeah, or even let spin-offs and racing games, open world racing games, and all other kinds of things. So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 for sure, and I'll throw a little shout out to Twisted Metal Black because I put a lot of time into that one too. Oh, and the original Time Splitters. That one was a PS2 exclusive. We played the crap out of that one.
Yep.
So much time in multiplayer. Oh, and Tekken Tag Tournament. Yeah.
And Quake 3.
Remember
that?
Load times. I remember load times.
My turn?
Well, yeah, but Quake 3, as we were waiting for it to load,
We'd watch like Drew Carey.
Yeah.
What's yours, Liz?
The only one I really put in a high amount of time in that I would consider putting on my list is Demon's Stone.
Okay.
And I didn't put a whole lot of time into this one, but the thing that got me on this one, I was at the game store, and I saw this game and it said Forgotten Realms, and I'm like, what? What? No, Forgotten Realms is books. And I picked it up, and it was, like, the storyline was written by my absolute favorite author, R.A. Salvatore, so I bought it, put it in, and I just absolutely loved how he took, these three races that usually don't work together, and they end up they get stuck working together because they were all prisoners of the same group of orcs. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, I really enjoyed that one.
All right.
And then I've got a couple close runner-ups. Oh. Ha-ha! Hee-hee!
Ha-ho-ho!
Ha-ha!
But I thought you said you only put a lot of time into just one PS2 game.
Yes, but I have runners-ups.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Mana Khemia, that alchemy game. I can't read the rest of the title from over here.
Yeah, I can't remember the rest of it.
Kingdom Hearts, the first one. That one was just a fun game. Eventually I'm gonna put it in and play it again. And then Inuyasha, Curse of the Mask, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. I actually finished it twice. But I didn't have access to it for about 4 years. I just recently found it, so.
There you go.
But
cool.
Demon's Stone is still higher up.
Chris, what's the next? You got any more systems?
GameCube.
What's your GameCube exclusive pick?
I just heard crickets chirping.
No, the GameCube's a good system.
I
just don't know if I really played that many
Super
exclusives
Smash
on
Brothers Melee.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was an awesome game.
Weren't you a big fan of Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah. I liked it, but Melee, I just liked that one a lot more.
Cool. Yeah, I guess, Super Smash Brothers Melee was really good. I remember there's 2 games I played a ton of on GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
They also came out on PS2, but not on Xbox. I remember I just picked it up because I had more memory space, I think, on the GameCube than memory cards than on PS2. And but I'll just say them anyways, even though they're not really exclusives. But NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. It had just a really captivating career mode where you progress from dirt racing all the way to NASCAR Cup racing. And WWE Day of Reckoning. It was a really good wrestling exclusive game on there. I got a lot of GameCube exclusives I never started, like Twilight Princess. I put like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours into Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I may have to just go Super Smash Brothers Melee by default. I guess.
I have that GameCube game called Geist. You remember that one?
I got that one too. I never got around to start it.
Yeah, the premise of it sounds really interesting, but I just never got around to playing it. And of course, now I don't have a GameCube, but I do have a Wii, so I might pop it in there, give my Wii its yearly usage.
You are not.
Maybe like half a year.
Okay. All right, Liz. You got a best GameCube game at all?
Zelda Ocarina of Time?
Hey,
yeah, actually, yeah.
Yep.
Yay!
Yeah.
A new one!
But it also
But I
came
played
out
it.
on N64
But that was before.
and on the
year
Wii Virtual
2000.
Console, and it's
Virtual
coming out on the
Console doesn't
3DS. I'm just kidding. If you want to say Ocarina of Time, go for it.
Ocarina of Time.
I'm just kidding. Hey,
Okay.
it was an exclusive still. All right, Chris, you got another one? Another system?
Yes, I do.
Oh, God. I'm adding a system after we're done with these systems.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any to add,
Yeah.
PSP.
All right.
Crisis Core.
I'll go for Assassin's Creed Bloodlines.
I guess for like the year I owned a PSP.
Lumens.
Yeah, no, it's Luminous.
Luminous.
Luminous is pretty damn good. I'll say Luminous. Yeah. Really good puzzle game.
Crisis Core.
Crisis
Okay,
there you
Crisis
go.
Core was good too.
I promised Adrian it would get mentioned at least once.
Oh,
Okay. It was mentioned
By the way, this
twice.
is a call out to my friend Adrian, who is a gamer girl like me.
And she's probably never going to listen to this, like a lot of other people.
I tried to talk her into coming, but it's an hour and a half for her to get to Grand Forks.
Oh.
And they don't have internet yet.
Oh. They have dial-up.
Not yet.
All right, Chris.
Don't
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Any more systems? You got
Xbox.
Xbox. Oh yeah. Crap.
Mine is drawn between two.
Mm.
Fable and Jade Empire.
Surprised you didn't put Death Row on there.
It's in there, but it's not the favorite.
Okay.
I have to look one up for a sec.
All right. I guess I would. Yeah, Fable's really good. I'd probably say the original Halo. I really love that game. Dreamfall would probably rank in there too. A really cool modern day adventure game. I think they came out on PS2 also, I'm not sure. Siberia 1 and 2, those were great adventure games. Jade Empire is good also. And Knights of the Old Republic especially, that's another awesome one. So, yeah. Oh, I guess I'd still stick with Halo though.
It's between two
Alright.
for me.
What's that?
One that I have put in a good deal of time in and finished it multiple times is Halo 1. And the other one that is on my, I've got to put it in and play it one of these days, I've got to put it in and play it, The Hobbit.
No, I heard that one's horrible actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
I heard that EA Lord of the Rings games were pretty good on Xbox, PS2.
Yeah, they were. I played some with Kyle.
Like Two Towers, Return of the King, like kind of co-op hack and slashers, but Sierra made like a couple also, and I just heard those were trash.
How about Knights of the Old Republic? You like that one?
Not on the Xbox, I played it on the computer.
Well, it also came out on Xbox. It was exclusive on systems for Xbox.
But I don't think I'd have liked it on the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably. It controls a little bit differently on Xbox.
Okay.
When I play a game on the computer, I will only play it on the computer. When I play it on the console, I will only play it on the console. That's like, Morrowind. I absolutely loved it. I finished the game 3 times on my computer. I can't play it on the console. It just bugs me.
Oh, okay.
Same
Yeah.
with Oblivion. I finished it twice. I can't play it on the console.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those games seem more. I know those ones are more designed for PC first, so makes sense.
So therefore, I don't count those.
Chris, what's up next?
DS.
DS.
Okay, you got my system I was going to add.
Yep.
I'll say Hotel Dusk for DS, man. That's easy. I love that game. I love the Phoenix Wright series being a close runner-up, and even Retro Game Challenge behind that. But Hotel Dusk, great story, great mystery. Absolutely loved it.
In America, Professor Layton.
Oh yeah. One of these days I'll get around to playing that.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun, but they're puzzle games.
Chris, what's yours?
For me, I barely ever play portable systems, but
Then why'd you put it on there?
Yeah.
because it needs to go on there.
Dude, it's got to be on there. All
It
right.
does. For me, I would say Retro Game Challenge.
Oh, yeah. Good choice. Yep. Awesome game. All right.
And Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance. Yeah, I did play a fair amount of GBA games. Not a ton, but, I'll probably put, oh, hell, why not?
Are the Game Boy Advance the big ones or the little ones?
Clamshell.
You played some.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out which ones are which. The ones that are an inch tall or the ones that are like 2.5 inches tall?
The ones that are an inch tall and
Okay.
about 2 inches wide.
That's a folding screen.
Oh, boy. Well, that doesn't help me any, but the inch tall helps me.
I'll probably say Mario Tennis on Game Boy Advance. I don't play a fair amount of other games, but I know there are other ones. Off the top of my head, probably Mario Tennis. Chris?
I've got to go with Super Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah, Super
Oh my
Dodgeball
God,
Brothers.
that game.
Yeah.
It was a launch
Oh,
game.
no, Super Dodgeball Advance, yeah.
Yeah, Super Dodgeball Advance. It was a launch game, and it's still...
Oh, the
I
original
love it.
Advance Wars is really good, too. I forgot about that
Yeah.
one, yeah. Cool. Got anything, Liz?
Not exclusive. I don't have anything that's exclusive.
Well, I mean,
to
as far as,
GBA.
like, portable exclusive.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics is exclusive.
That's not GBA.
There's a Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
I never played it, so I can't count it.
Oh, okay. Hey,
The
you
only
counted
one-
The Hobbit, and you never played it.
No, I
Yeah,
counted
well,
it as
that's a
runner-up.
Hobbit.
I counted it as a runner-up, though.
That
But you
just
never
feels
played it.
wrong.
The only
That's-
one that I've actually put a lot of time in on the GBA is, you just jinxed me.
What?
I never heard of that game.
Is that like You Don't Know Jack? Kinda
Don't Know
like,
Jack. Yeah, that's like the
that?
spin-off.
Castlevania!
Castle, okay.
It's not exclusive, but I
No, all the
put it-
Castlevania games on
exclusive.
GBA are exclusive.
There's really...
It's a port of the NES,
No, they're all...
isn't it?
Well, this is like the NES Classics line, but I don't think that one
It's the
came
NES Classics.
Oh, okay.
I guess I could be wrong, but...
Well,
I got it at NBC last year.
It was like 15 years ago. Or, 15 years between...
Well, hey, if we're counting Ocarina of Time on the GameCube, we can count Castlevania on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. All right.
Saturn.
Saturn.
Oh, no.
No, there are no Saturn games released.
Crazy Taxi.
That was Dreamcast. I don't know. PS1.
Crazy Taxi was
Oh,
a guess.
there's some games.
PS1?
Few
I
years of
can't say
PS1
PS1
support.
right now. It's at the top. It's one of my top games.
I kind of missed the boat on PS1. I played some PS1 games, but I waited to the PS2 to really get my feet in
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 games.
All my PS1 games that I liked were like
90s.
before 2000.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
See, one of my top 3 games is from PS1. So,
The best,
I can't
best,
say this one.
I got one, Dale. Best Engage.
Oh, best Engage game.
None. I don't know. I never played
I actually played Engage games briefly
Crazy
at E3.
it. Yeah, they make Crazy Tax for Engage, don't they?
Even EA released some games for the Engage. They wouldn't support the Dreamcast, but they support the Engage.
Huh. They support the little taco you hug to your
Yep.
head, huh?
They supported the Talking Taco.
What was it? Tigercom?
Gamecom, that was 90s.
Gamecom.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh, Wonder Swan. That was it. That was only in Japan, though.
Yep. Neo Geo Pocket Color, never played it. That's 2000, 2001-ish. Alright, well, let's
Okay.
get running down the rest of our list here. Ton more categories.
Uh-huh.
Alright, best achievement and trophy. Chris, what do you got?
Best achievement
Or trophy
or trophy.
of the decade.
I have The Simpsons. Press start.
Oh, the Lazy Homer. That's mine. I had like 4 or 5 listed there. That's one of them.
My worst one is Dastardly because they took it out.
Yeah, those bastards.
That's Dastardly.
Well, I guess the other couple favorites from mine were, I think this was my winner for the 2009 one, was the Multiplayer Master one from Eat Lad. This, you beat the game, you unlock it, and the description was, well, we didn't have a chance to include single player, so here, have this multiplayer achievement instead.
Nice.
Nice.
And also the Marco Polo from Uncharted 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that one.
Going to the pool once, Marco. Going to the pool twice,
And
Polo.
I'm on a boat from Borderlands.
Nice.
So, Liz, what are some of your favorites?
I've got two. My first one is from Borderlands, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to actually tie to Halo and I think possibly Gears, because I think all three of these games have an achievement like this. Get a little blood on the tires. Killed 25 enemies by ramming them with any vehicle.
Yeah.
Because I'm always the driver, and I'm always the driver for one very good reason. I kill things when I'm driving.
Yes, you do.
There you go.
And then my runner-up was from Prince of Persia this year, and Stay Down!
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yep. I remember you mentioning that on a few
That
episodes
was just
ago.
funny. Because, it just ties into my die already! Die!
And I would like to mention another one from Borderlands. My brother's an Italian plumber.
Oh yeah, when you
Jumping
jump
on
on
the
something to
creases.
kill it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd like to mention, this isn't related to the game at all, but this is kind of related to achievements. There was, this is something that really happened. This autistic kid who got a 360.
Oh yeah.
And, he got a 360 maybe 4 months. He racked up 15,000 achievement points. Xbox Live declared him as a cheater, put the label cheater underneath his gamer tag.
And took all of his
and took
achievements
all
away.
his achievements away.
That's what they
He
do,
has
yeah.
to re-earn him.
And
re-earn them.
No, he can't.
Yeah,
Well,
he can
he
re-earn
can,
them,
but-
but he'll always be dubbed
He
a
always
cheater.
have the cheater tag.
Yeah.
And he's autistic, which means you excel, and you usually excel in one.
Well, let's give a shout out to him and wish him luck, because I know his mom is still fighting to try and get that removed.
Yeah. That's just BS.
Yeah.
His family is fighting to get that tag removed, or the label removed, because, I'm sorry, but I don't think the kid cheated.
No, I don't either.
I think he's just that, that's one area that he excels in, and he deserves to be recognized for that one
said,
little thing.
No, you're too good. You can't be a.
Yeah, so
you couldn't have
Now, I've heard of other stories of that happening too, and
I hope that it gets reversed.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me a bit angry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, on a lighter note, Chris, I know you're a bigger fan of collector's editions. That's what we got. Best collector's edition of the decade.
Whoop.
What do you got?
I have Fallout 3.
Stalling.
I said what I had. I had Fallout 3. Come on.
Oh, I thought you said all three. I was like, what are you talking about?
All three.
Yeah.
Fallout 3. It gave you that lunch pail.
You like that lunch pail.
That's cool. And I would say also BioShock 1 because it gave you the Big Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
kick-ass Big Daddy.
I got two of them listed here. I got Warcraft 3 on the computer. That was a 2002 one. That was kind of came out before collector editions really got big. I know Halo edition was kind of like the big gateway thing for other publishers going, oh, hey, we could easily make an extra $10-20 off collector's editions. And, but Warcraft 3 preceded that by a few years or a couple years in 2002. I still got the nice big case. Came with a DVD of all the cinematics, a soundtrack CD, a big art book. Just really cool.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And other one is also SmackDown vs. Raw 08 or 09 on PS3. I know I don't have it, but my buddy Matt does, and yeah, I kind of envied it a little bit because it comes with this cool sliding steel cage looking case, and it comes with a exclusive Blu-ray of the best matches of the year. So on SmackDown and Raw, so really cool. Liz.
So does the 360 version come with an HD
No.
DVD?
The 360 version got shafted. No
okay.
collector's edition.
Liz.
I'm sorry.
What?
I said Halo Reach because I sat here racking my brains and sitting here okay, what collector's editions are memorable? What collector's edition am I going to remember in 10 years?
Right.
Halo Reach, because, it came with that book explaining the Spartan program, and it came with the lockbox, and it came with the statue, and, and, all of it just really ties into the whole story so well.
Cool.
And I think the Halo Reach statue comes with one extra gun. That doesn't go with anybody. I think that is your gun.
Okay, pose with the little minigun.
I think it's
You
your
hold it in
gun.
your little finger.
No, like your character. Noble 6.
Oh, that could be.
I think that's yours.
That could be, because there's only 5 on the statue.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
The gun to symbolize the person who was glassed? I don't know. But they would have all been glassed.
No, since they don't know what Noble 6 look like because it's you,
Oh.
they don't know whether it's male or female or whether you have the armor changed or whatever.
Right.
Cool. Alright. Next up, best couple friendly, best co-op, whatever you want, however you want to say it. Chris.
This is available on the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. I would have to go with Baldur's Gate series.
Baldur's Gate Dark Line. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we've raved about that one before in past Game of the Year shows,
Mhm.
or retrospectives and stuff.
They need to make more of them.
I guess for me, I would say, I guess I didn't really come up with one originally, but the Dark Alliance games are any of those hack and slash dungeon crawls they release, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance especially. Even Borderlands was awesome co-op. Had a lot of good times with that in co-op, or 4-player Halo 3 and Halo Reach online. Great times. So those are just a few of my favorites. I guess I don't really have I didn't take the time to consider a best one. Liz, did you?
I broke it down into subcategories.
Mm-hmm.
I did multi-console and same console.
Okay.
Multi-console meaning you need more than one console.
Okay, yeah.
My multi-console's Lotro because you can work so well together. And one thing I've noticed with Chris and I having been playing Lotro so long is we've actually gotten better at working together as a team.
Yeah.
You know, and when we're trying to do something together, it's
Heal me!
well, no, like I mean in real life. When
Yeah.
we're trying to do something together, it's not so hard to tell him or for him to tell me what needs to be done to do something together. Like when we were building my computer.
Yeah.
He-
I
he-
said you tank and I'll nuke.
But no, he didn't have to say as much for me to understand what I needed to do. And when we're working in the kitchen
Basically,
together.
because you also knew that you can't play Lotro until the computer's
Well, that too. But like, and in the game, it's just kind of, once you learn what your character is capable of, you learn what your partner's character is capable of as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we've gone in situations with just 2 characters where, according to the game, you need at least 6 people to do this. Or to do whatever we're trying to do. And we've gone in and just been like, done! You know, I don't know, I think it breeds really good teamwork. And my same console game that I thought was the best for couples for the last 10 years is Borderlands. Because
Okay.
again, in Halo, you kind of, if you're working together, it helps, but you don't necessarily have to. You can split up and go do your own thing. But in Borderlands, it really behooves you to stick together and work together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially if when you're playing one of you dies, well, you can be rezzed if your partner's there.
And your partner has to stay back a little.
Yeah.
Fight.
I don't know. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed both of those. I thought that they were both really good couple-friendly games.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Alright, it should be an interesting pick here. I know I had a lot of fun kind of looking at a lot of game cases, looking at this one. Best cover art of the past decade. Chris.
Eternal Sonata came to mind. I don't know.
Really?
I just like those bright colors and it's just
It's-
cartoony,
He
animated
likes
look.
shiny too.
Yeah, it is artsy
I like
looking.
shiny stuff, yeah. I like shiny.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I'm running to heal someone, I'm like, oh, shiny.
I got
I did that to someone yesterday.
I got 3 picks here. I guess one that kind of really jumped out for me was just kind of an oddball pick, NBA 2K11. Just because it was Michael Jordan's on the cover, and they got this really cool. They even have I remember they had a big cover unveiling for the press event, and this was really cool, like 3-part image of Michael Jordan throwing him throughout how he looked throughout his career, and just simply the way it came out, released several years after he retired, best ever. They really made a big deal for it. I thought it was a big part of 2K's success that year. I really love it. Yeah, whatever, Liz.
Nice.
Liz is messing on the chat box because we were doing kind of just spur of the moment live broadcast on Ustream. But also Black. I don't know if you guys remember that game.
Yep. Gun porn.
Yep. I don't know if you guys Liz, if you probably want to Google that, or
I will.
or
What's it
Chris,
called,
I don't know,
Black?
if Black on PS2 and Xbox.
I'm not gonna get you water.
Damn it.
Do we have any?
But yeah, that game had a pretty cool box art. It's still got. It's just a bunch of shells on the cover, just barely covering up the word, or the word Black is just barely sticking out, and just really really cool. I thought. And finally, Final Fantasy X. I thought that had a good cover.
Nice.
That did have a good cover.
There's just
Just
standing there,
standing in the
holding a
water.
sword,
In the water.
thinking like, what the hell do I do here?
All right.
Blitzball.
Blitzball.
Let's do blitzball.
All right. Yeah, right now we're about an hour in here, so we're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Pizza.
Pizza time? No. Water time. Liz, you're not important. Just kidding. What's your favorite cover?
You didn't want me to see my
Nope.
cover art.
Sorry. I was thinking water.
Because you don't look at the covers.
Yeah, you don't
just
look at
play
the
the game.
This is just this look of shock and awe. This is how dare you look at her face.
I'm going to smack him.
That's priceless.
I'm just kidding. All you look at is the covers to buy a
Oh my
game.
god.
Like, oh, this one looks
Getting called
cool.
out.
He's sleeping on the couch tonight.
No, you are. That's my bed.
I don't think so.
Well, so, all right, Liz. What's your favorite cover?
Come on, spit it out.
And I guess she's speechless. She has nothing to say. We'll be right.
Okay, water break, water time. Come on.
I said Legend of the Dragoon.
That came
The
out in 2000.
PlayStation 1.
Okay.
Because that cover, I saw the cover and I was like, oh wow, that looks really cool because the person that they drew for Dart is just completely, the facial expression is completely engaging. And, as you flip it over, you can see different it's like a panoramic of all the characters. And I remember thinking, that looks like a cool game, and if I don't think I'd have picked up that game if it hadn't been for that cover art. And I don't know, I really appreciated the game as I spent a great deal of time playing it over the next few years. I think I put 80 or 90 hours into it over the next 4 years. So, good game. Good cover art.
So it's just won it for me last year. Two really good pieces, like a good 4 or 5 hours of story-based content right there. And these other two ones are just because I spent so much money on all of them. Downloadable tracks for Rock Band 1 and 2, just because it increased the library of songs to play by so much for me. And also, Pinball Effects and Zen Pinball Tables. I downloaded every single one that came out, played the hell out of them. So.
Addict. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Oh, never mind. It wouldn't be.
Liz, do you got a best piece of DLC?
Knights of Nine for Oblivion.
Knights of the Nine? Alright. Yeah?
Well, so, DLC, I'm only going for consoles because they call them DLC. They don't call them expansions.
Well,
Yeah.
I
guess it can
didn't
be called-
play it on the console.
Well, more DLC is starting to emerge now on PC now, it seems,
Yeah.
with Steam.
But
I didn't play it on the console. I didn't really play many games that had DLC on the consoles.
should this should make a subcategory to this best expansion?
You can go for it.
Then I don't have DLC.
Oh, you know,
Well,
if you want to
let's-
give a special shout out to expansion, go for it.
Okay, a special shout out to expansion. Siege of Mirkwood.
Oh, for Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Upcoming?
Upcoming is
Isaac
Rise of
Garden.
Ours.
You want to give an award to something that's not even out yet. Okay, Liz.
Yes, because we're IGN like that.
Yeah, we're IGN. We're giving awards to things that haven't come out or things we haven't
I'm
played.
giving the reward for one reason and one reason only. They're raising the level cap.
Yes. Well, so is Siege of Mirkwood. And Mines of Moria.
Yeah, but I'm already at max level.
I'm not. I'm level 64.
I want
Okay.
to play more with Maya.
3 of my tunes are 65. Dale Sleepy.
Anyway. Okay.
Alright, next up, best downloadable game of the decade.
Chuzzles.
For the iPhone and
iPod.
iPod Touch. Also
Yeah.
iPhone, other things. Chris?
Yeah, this would sound really stupid, but I
Spaghetti and
remember.
marshmallows. That's what
No.
you're going to say.
No. I remember a long time ago when we were still over in VG Pub.
Oh yeah.
You, me, Jeremy, John, everybody from VG Pub, we'd all get together and play Uno.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Uno on Xbox Live
That was
Arcade,
awesome when that came out. Oh my god!
Yeah. I had coworker
awesome.
told me they're getting into Uno on they've been into Uno on the Wii lately a lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep. I think that was one of the first big that and Geometry Wars were like the first big breakout hits on Xbox Live
Yeah, but
Arcade.
Geometry Wars, you can just what was it?
Or Geometry Wars 2, I guess was
Yeah, well, Project Gotham Racing 1
that
had
the
Geometry
first one.
Wars in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For me, I put Pinball FX 1 and 2.
How did I know?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, besides that obvious gimme that I've wasted so much time into, I also put a Shadow Complex, which could probably stand alone as its own separate, like, probably full release game on, like, probably a DS or PSP, actually.
Yeah.
Liz, or did you say
I said
Puzzles?
Puzzles.
Okay.
Yeah, Dale, pay attention. Jeez.
I couldn't remember if that was, like, your DLC or
That was my
you know.
downloadable
Okay.
game.
Well, what's your best dust collector?
Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, because I've wanted this game for years and years and years and years and years. I needed to get it for the PC. And I don't think I've got a PC that'll ever run it. And as a console game, it's just a big dust collector because I don't know how to play it on the console. So, yeah. It's kind of like a Zoo Tycoon type thing. So, therefore, it's my dust collector. I have it, but... Or my other dust collector is going to be my, what was it, Breeders' Cup or Triple Crown?
Oh yeah,
The horse racing game?
for the PS2.
That because we don't have a cord for the PlayStation 2 to hook it up, I can't play it.
But Chris's PS3 has some PS2 compatibility, right?
Yeah, it blue
Not
screens the
for-
PS3.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Oh.
it'll actually blue screen it.
Damn.
I mean, it's actually blue.
Blue.
It actually is the actual blue screen of death.
Wow. Chris.
This was the biggest dust collector. Then I sold it. 2 Worlds.
Nice.
I remember you were so psyched for that game, and I
was.
forewarned you a lot.
Well, I was looking at all their promises from the developers
That
and
had no credibility,
that had no credibility
and it was released by a small-time publisher.
from Germany.
But actually, Poland actually, but
maybe the developer was from Germany.
no, because they just released 2 Worlds 2, and they're talking about how the developers from
I
Poland.
thought it was German.
Maybe it is German, I could be wrong, but I want to say Poland. But, yeah, 2 Worlds 2 actually just came out. It's actually getting pretty good reviews, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, so. At least I'm surprised they managed to make a sequel, and I'm surprised that it's actually good. So, good for them.
Yeah,
Four
well,
Worlds.
we'll see if they can hold it up.
You gotta get it, Chris. Gotta get it.
Maybe I'll gameplay it.
That had a pretty cool collector's edition. Remember, you're like, oh, look, it comes with its own tabletop board game.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I sold a collector's edition.
All right.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, yeah, I guess best dust collector for me. I got mixed up with the system, I think, so I just put Wii and PSP. 'Cause I pretty much never played them after like the first couple months.
Oh, you sold it.
I sold them and got better use out of them that way.
Right.
All right. Best ending.
Mine's
Liz.
a tie. Mine is a tie between Halo 1, the legendary ending, and the Borderlands ending. Because, the Halo 1, when you've got the Spartan and the soldier hugging each other, and Borderlands, you've got this twist of, oh my god, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, all of this was for this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say too much because there might still be some people out there that haven't finished the game.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, it's gonna be spoiler free. Yeah. Chris, you got best ending?
Yep. Let me. Oh,
No, Mr.
let me
Meet
turn
the
on my
stream here.
speakers and I should exit the Ustream channel. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Or I said best ending, not best credits song.
Stay cool, baby.
Gears of War 1, just because of that.
The Coltrane song.
Coltrane song.
Yeah, that's a good song. Hey, I think Rogue Warrior has a better ending song.
Does it?
Better end credits. It's Mickey Rourke just telling you to fuck off.
What?
For like 3 minutes.
Okay, I gotta look at that one.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much just cues together a lot of... it's one of those games that I think I've talked about on here before. It just needlessly drops F-bombs everywhere, and it, for the end credits song, it has this little like rap beat, and it just pulls together a lot of lines from the game with a lot of F-bombs, just Mickey Rourke going crazy, because he voices the main character, so it's fun stuff. But for best ending for me, actually, it's weird. This was hard for me, actually. I kind of wrote down... That's kind of cool, because I keep track of all the games I beat every year for, like, since 2007 now, so, like, the last 4 years I've had this list of all the games I beat, and before that I really only beat, like, maybe just a handful of games each year. And, so I had a pretty good tally of what I beat, and I kind of had, I think, like, the best 7 or 8 games I had for endings right here. But, I'm just gonna list these ones. I couldn't really pick a winner. I put, Halo 3 and original Halo, I loved their endings. Halo 3 especially, I thought that had the better ending, especially after just seeing it again here last week. Resistance 2 had a great ending, because as lackluster, or not lackluster, but as disappointing as it was compared to the first game, I thought it had a great ending that I didn't see compared to the first time around.
Remember in Resistance 2, the very last guy?
The ending, yeah.
Yeah, you shoot him like once and that's it.
Yep.
That was very anticlimactic.
See, I would not claim that as a good ending.
I thought the ending was cool because it was ballsy, and you usually don't see that kind of thing before.
Yeah, I also think that the Final Fantasy X ending was good. A lot of people would probably disagree with it, but I thought it was good. It was.
I think I remember
don't
you
want to
showing
give
it
any
to me.
spoilers on it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, even though it's all, yeah.
I mean, the game is how old? 9 years old.
Yeah.
So I guess.
And then another one I put is let's see here, the Phoenix Wright Justice for All. The second game,
Is that by Metallica?
Metallica?
Justice for All.
No, it's Capcom.
Oh.
No, it had a really good final act, and Maya is kidnapped, and you're interviewing a very unique witness, which will be brought up later, and just the way the whole final act unfolds, and it's just crazy. If you could YouTube it, it's cool, but it's all text based pretty much if you don't mind looking at that, but the way the Phoenix Wright plays out. But Justice for All had a really great final, like 20-30 minutes. Shenmue 2, just because of had a completely especially the final disc in that game on Dreamcast, or I guess you say final 2-3 hours if you played it on Xbox, had changed the vibe of the game completely from how it was played before. And then like the last 10-20 minutes, however long the ending was, it just was very, very different compared to anything you've seen in that game before. And it had me anticipated for what was to come, but that day will never happen unless the rumors of Shenmue Online are proven to be. But
that's already been, well.
It got canceled supposedly, and now
now
it's back supposedly.
back.
I'll
Yeah.
believe it when I see it. Also, got on here a couple of recent ones. Uncharted 2. Really, come on, clowns. Liz liked that one.
Yes, I did like the ending of that one.
It's just
that
like
was
the whole
hilarious.
Indiana Jones last act and all the style. Very
Admit it, you were scared. No, I wasn't. Okay, then what are you scared of? Clowns.
clowns, yes.
You've been through all this and you're afraid of a clown?
Yep. Awesome. Red Dead Redemption, another one with a completely ballsy ending, and it's like it kept having all these kind of like fake endings, and then game kind of kept up for just a little longer, and you think it's done, and keeps going, and it's just this great final part of the game. Just and really good. And like Resistance 2, a very, very ballsy ending. Let's see here. I got 2 more. Metal Gear Solid 4, pretty much because its ending is pretty much a movie. It's like an hour and a half long. I'm not kidding, an hour and a half long ending. But it's really,
insane.
It's really cool. It ties up a lot of things throughout almost everything that was brought up in the story. and I had a great time watching it. Twisted Metal Black, because I remember just playing that game, and me and Matt, we did co-op every time with every character in the game. You know, it's basic Twisted Metal car combat. You know, good solid stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing amazing, but you know, good solid car combat. It's still fun, but the reason that made us play through it with each and every character is to see each and every character's really cool, just twisted and dark, insane CG cutscenes. The beginning, middle, and ends. Just great stuff.
I do have one more ending to add to mine.
What's that?
The Inuyasha game. I forget what it is. Cursed Mask, something. Anyway, you've got, I think, 16 different endings that you can access.
Wow.
Because there are 8 endings possible for the female character, there are 8 endings possible for the male character. It depends on, there are cutscenes throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you spend, well, I guess there's 17 possible endings. If you spend every single cutscene with, like, say, one character, you get that character's ending.
Wow.
And so it's like, all it is their floating face, and, you know, you're thinking how much you miss them, and you remember, like, what you did with them, and then
Floating
you get, like,
face, huh?
Yes, you get a floating face. And then you kind of get, like, this possible of...
Wait a minute. Isn't that an award?
Sorry.
And then you get this possible of, well, what we could have done together. I don't know, I remember thinking that was really cool at the time.
Best use of a floating head?
Yeah, that's coming later. Alright, best glitch or glitch gremlin of the decade. Liz, you look like you want to say yours.
Karn Doom, class quest item, 6 hours, gone.
Your all-time best glitch moment.
That was my all-time best glitch, because it was just like, I wouldn't even call it best, it just was the most frustrating.
Yes.
It was like, what?
Standout glitch. How about that? Standout.
No, I just spent this many hours doing this, and it's gone! And then, of course, I had to wait 2 more days before I could go in and get it.
I'll probably say Pirates of the Caribbean on original Xbox. Probably the entire game. It was a big glitch-filled mess, but I still managed to persevere and finish it and still had a good time with it outside the glitches. It was a fun, ambitious game. But like, that game was just loaded with so many glitches. I'm glad I created spare saves, because there was one game save that ended up getting corrupted, and you know, if I wasn't creating a spare save just because of all the other glitches I was running into earlier, I would have lost all my data. And there was another glitch in that game I remember where, you know, I completed a quest, and I saw the character was still standing there, and you know, I don't know if you guys play like these kind of like open world RPGs or whatever, and it's like, oh, I just finished this quest for this guy. I'm just gonna go talk to him again, see if he has anything to say, like, oh, thanks again for helping me out or whatever, or see if he has anything else to give you or another quest or whatever. So I wanted to talk to him again, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. He's saying, he's giving me the same quest I just did for him. I just spent like the past hour doing. And I had no choice. I had to redo that same quest. And at that point I didn't have another spare save, so I had to redo that same quest. All over again. It was crazy. And that game is also like no one had an editor or spell checker, because there's just so many spelling and grammar errors throughout that game. It's like literally NES era bad. So, yeah, that game easily worthy of my glitch gremlin award of the decade. Chris. Oh, I'm surprised it's published by Bethesda.
I would have to go with Oblivion. Not a bad glitch, a good glitch. The dupe glitch?
Oh yeah, I like the dupe glitch.
The dupe glitch that Bethesda released an update to supposedly stop it, and people found a way through it again.
They kept,
and then Bethesda released an update again.
They did it like several times, and they just gave up.
And then Bethesda just gave up.
I guess I do have one more glitch. I forgot about this
glitch. I agree. That would be the best glitch of the decade.
Okay, I have one more glitch. It also has to do with Oblivion.
Yeah.
And this was on the PC only. I don't know how to access this glitch on a console. And what it was is, okay, I had run a fighting class character. And, you know, I had finished the game with my fighting class character. And I was like, God, that was hard. But now I want to run a thief. But I don't think my thief that I'm going to run is going to be able to handle, you know, the fighting. And, you know, as I leveled, I was right. As I got higher and higher levels, I couldn't handle in the Oblivion gates. And I found this glitch. If you push the tilde key, it froze everything on the screen. And then you could left click on something, including NPCs I found out by unfortunate
And you can
mistake.
kill them.
NPCs that you're not supposed to be able to get killed! And then type /kill and it'll kill them.
Yep.
They're gone forever. So be careful using this glitch.
But it's not a glitch, it's a code. It's meant to be in the game, though.
Oh, it's really a code? Okay.
Really? I thought it was a glitch.
But the way you discovered it came off like a glitch.
Yeah, and
We'll
it
say
was
it's a
like,
glitch.
Sweet!
We're gonna say it's a glitch.
So I would run in the Oblivion Gate, freeze screen, kill everything on the screen, loot other bodies, and
Nice. Awesome.
it worked.
It only seemed fitting that Bethesda had a clean sweep of this category.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Best graphics. This should be interesting. What? And I'll start this one off. I got two of them. One for kind of technical graphics, is like, damn, this game looks that good. Another one for kind of artistical, just because of the art style for that game. No matter how old it is, it still just looks fantastic and just gorgeous today. My artistical one is Zelda Wind Waker for GameCube.
Okay.
That game looks great. It just looks fantastic. It's just a pleasure to look at. And also Heavy Rain for technical. That game just looks amazing. What they're managed to pull off out of the PS3 there is just unbelievably good. Especially considering you saw the tech demo, what they're able to pull off in 2006 or 2005, before the PS3 launched, and they're still able to just astonish past that. So, Chris, Liz, what says you guys?
I have two. I have one for current gen and one for an older gen.
Okay.
My older gen is actually going to be Might and Magic 8. And I remember when I first installed this game, and, I rolled up my characters because that was the first Might and Magic game also that you only had one person in your party to start with. And, I rolled up my character and I turned all around and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, the water was great, and when you fired a cannon, you could actually see the cannonball hit way out in the distance. And, it was the first one. They had meteor showers in this one. Well, you could see the meteors coming from the sky. And, you could see when you'd go into a volcano, it was like the best volcano I had ever seen. You could see, like, where the ground was black and where there were little rivulets of lava. And, now when I put it in, of course, I'm like, oh my god, this is pixelated. But it was just amazing. And I remember it blew me away. And, Might and Magic is one of the only game series that every single game up to about 2 years ago, I got it new when it first came out. So, I followed the series for a long time. Mm-hmm. And my current gen game is actually Lord of the Rings Online. And that's because they're continually updating the graphics. Every time we have a patch, we have a graphics patch. That's what takes so long for our updates to come through, because it's updating our graphics for us. And so every single time you play it, it looks fresh, it looks new, it's just beautiful.
Right up there with the latest and greatest.
Exactly.
Chris.
I have two as well. One of them is the best graphics, like, complexity-wise.
Okay.
I would have to say Assassin's Creed 2, because there's nothing like when you climb to the top of the tower and synchronize. That's just the most beautiful thing ever. It's photorealistic.
He loves the synchronization.
I do. And my best is, it's not 3D, it's 2D. The use of sprites.
Sprites?
Oh, okay.
Sprites. Odin Sphere for the PS2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Odin Sphere is a beautiful game.
Cool. Alright, this should be an interesting award here for the decade. Best in-game advertising of the decade. Kind of curious to see what you guys got here.
Death Row.
Death Row. Oh, yeah.
In-game advertising of fictitious items.
And real. Fictitious and real.
And real?
They had Rockstar energy drinks were in there.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was Rockstar.
No, it was Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
And then they also had their own fake stuff, too.
So, yeah, that's my award winner.
I have two again.
Which one?
First is going to be the Gran Turismo games that came out after 2000, because I can't count the ones that came out before 2000. And the main reason I say in-game advertising is because even though I don't remember if they, came out right out and said, buy this product, buy that product. But, you could go to the car garages of these different manufacturers And when you were upgrading your vehicle, you could learn why you wanted this part in your car. So, I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of went toward, educating a consumer. And I think I still have effects of it today, like when I'm looking at cars and it's like, oh, well, I could think about it could be used for this, 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 or this, or it could have this part or this part or this part. And that's primarily because I actually, geek that I am, sat down and actually read all of those. And read through them and asked my dad. I was like, well, where do you get this? Where do you get that? And my other one is going to be actually Lotro, because with the new updates. And they're always telling us, well, you can get this in the Lotro store, you can get that in the Lotro store. And a lot of people say that it's just overdoing it. I don't think so, because they don't put it everywhere. It's just, it's on the loading screen. They change the loading screen periodically, and it's something to look at.
Mm-hmm.
What were they advertising?
Well, like, try the RuneKeeper class right now, 20% off in the Lotro store.
Oh, okay.
Or, having trouble getting your materials for crafting right now, the special is 50% off on materials kits for your level.
There you go.
I mean, it's just
Convenient.
I don't think it's annoying at all. In fact, like you just
Works
said,
for
I
the
think it's
game,
convenient. Rather than having to go in there and shop around and find what the specials are, because it does take a minute to load.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on my loading screen right now. I can see. This is today's special.
I guess
Nice.
for me, I thought a couple, I guess like I got just funny ones just kind of came to mind, like Chris, like, except for Death Row. Remember the balls, drinks from Fallout Brotherhood of Steel on PS2 and Xbox came to mind, where they replaced the trademark Fallout Nuka-Cola with balls energy drinks. Really.
Like the actual...
Like the actual legitimate balls energy
Okay.
drinks that were... a lot of Fallout fans scream sacrilege, and I believe them. But, no, actually, and then I thought of a couple others, but the other thing are just kind of like, just funny bad. And like, I think I'm the best funny bad, in-game advertising, and I love it too. It didn't offend me at all. And it's so easy to get pissed off at in-game advertising, but I thought this was just so great and so fitting, especially with, the kiddie nature of the game. Super Monkey Ball. Dole bananas.
Oh, yeah.
Each
True.
and every single banana, and there's thousands of them throughout the game on all the
They'll
stages.
have the Dole label
They'll all
on
have the Dole label, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm glad the monkeys, they love their Dole branded bananas. I'm sure Chiquita Banana's just pissed.
Right.
She must have pissed them off. Or maybe she has an exclusivity contract with Donkey Kong.
Who knows? I wonder if Donkey Kong Country for the Wii is going to have any Dole bananas.
Probably not. I don't know. I don't think a single Nintendo game has, unless there's like their older sports games on N64 and GameCube have like branding or whatever, but I don't think they do.
Oh. Well, don't they make some like the Doritos made games, 7-Up made games, the Cool Spot.
And I'm sure at one point there probably was, but
Yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. Liz, you missed my best in-game advertising pick. It was Super Monkey Ball. Dole bananas. The monkeys all gathered Dole bananas.
Yeah, she's never played.
You'll probably like it.
I don't know
Or
if
just it's on like GameCube, PS2, Xbox. I think they even got
do you have a copy of it for like the Xbox?
I think I used to have a copy on GameCube or something.
I used to have it on the GameCube.
Write it down. We'll look for it at MGC. I've got
or
to.
just like YouTube footage online. It's like a puzzler.
I've got to try this Super Monkey Ball.
It's like a puzzle.
Have you ever played Labyrinth? You know that game
No.
where...
Or like Marble Madness.
No.
Oh. Well, this is pretty much get from point A to B, roll through an obstacle course, but avoid all these objects. You're a monkey and a ball.
They probably
obviously.
make it on your iPod.
Yeah, it probably isn't on the iPod, I bet.
My mouse is going flying.
It'd actually be a perfect game for the iPod. They could easily get away with it being all motion-based.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah.
I have games like it for my Droid.
Yeah.
Let's see if
Okay,
they have Super Monkey
all right.
Ball.
I have a quick off-the-wall question. At what percentage should I plug my laptop in again?
2.
When it dies,
Well, I don't want it to die all the way.
then do it before it dies.
Will it give me a warning to say your laptop is about to die?
You'll
Yes.
find out.
Okay. Well,
It'll
it's a
say
new
your battery
laptop,
is
and
blah,
it
blah,
said
blah,
in
blah,
the
blah,
manual to let the battery completely die a few times,
Okay.
like 3 or 4.
All right. next up,
I have my cord.
I couldn't think of one for this, even though we just did one for last year. I guess I didn't bother thinking of or digging out all my instruction manuals. But do you guys have a best instruction manual?
No.
Of the
I
decade?
do.
What's that?
Might and Magic 8.
Oh yeah.
Starting with Might and Magic 5, they started having fun with the instruction manuals, and they wrote them like stories. And so, like, the Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8 instruction manuals, 8 was the last one that they did this. It would have, like, if you imagine a world where it's wizards and sorcerers and knights and things like that. And of course, a wizard's got to have his crystal ball. And so you see this old wizard sitting there, and, you know, he's kind of, it's in, when people didn't really have a lot of computers either. Or everyone didn't have a computer. And of course, he's got this crystal ball sitting in front of him, and he goes, every good wizard has to have a crystal ball. Of course, in your world, I think you call it a computer. And so, like, I don't know, this manual has stuck with me for years. He breaks down the parts of the old school computer, like, not laptop, but actual tower, into a crystal ball, and he's actually got a pet rat, and he says, this is my rat, although I think in your world you call them mice. And usually their tail attaches to your computer. And it was just, I don't know, I had a lot of fun reading through this manual, and it was just funny.
Yeah. Alright, best LOL moment.
Well, I do have a best manual,
Oh, you do?
but it's not for a video game.
Yeah.
It's for Sonic Wall Router.
that
The
count?
manuals, they give some stats on it, and it says the chocolate and vanilla flavors are available now. Wait till next year for butterscotch, peanut brittle, and all these other flavors.
Nice. Alright, you know what? I'll take it back. One comes to mind right now. Almost all the Rockstar Games manuals. They have a lot of good fun with, like, the Grand Theft Autos and even Red Dead Redemption. They really go out and get all, almost make them like phone books, like a phone book directory. I like the phone book directory take on the Grand Theft Auto manuals. Okay, best LOL moments. LOL on the DS. That game had so many crazy LOL moments. I talked about it before in the show. It's multiplayer Picto Chat. Give a lot of people drunk, use their imaginations.
Nice.
You get crazy LOL moments. Also, as I alluded to earlier, you question a interesting witness in the final act in Phoenix Wright Justice for All, and that's talking radio you're communicating with, because you're actually communicating with the criminal who's providing witness to try and implicate another false accomplice, and the radio, and so you're actually questioning the radio, and the radio, Phoenix Wright is kind of notorious for, like, all these characters having all these funny 2D animations for all their expressions, since the game's through text, and the characters have all these funny animations, and they're animated just kind of all crazy and funny, and just like this weird Japanese anime style, and you think, well, how are they going to make this interesting with the radio? They show the radio when it's under pressure. They show it like leaking oil, and like just kind of like, and like the gears kind of starting to pop out, and like when you finally crack it, the radio busts open, and it's just hilarious.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That was just a really cool moment. So, and also the giant singing poo monster from Conker's Bad Fur Day. So there you go. Google it or YouTube it.
Giant singing poo monster?
It's final boss.
Poo, as in poo?
P-O-O, poo.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
He said duty.
Duty. I said poo.
Yes, you said poo.
Okay. My turn?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with, in Legend of the Dragoon, there's this character, and she is completely off the wall. Like, she's got neon blue hair, and she's got this hammer that I swear to God is bigger than her, that she uses very well. And she's a kid. She's literally a child. Well, the very first time you meet her in the game, I don't remember what the person had said. Oh, they called her a kid. They said, oh, you stupid kid, get out of my shop. And she's sitting there going off on him, I am not a kid, don't you dare call me a kid, and I know more than you, and I can do more than you, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And he goes, okay, and then he asks her this really simple question. And she comes across with, Oh, I don't know that.
I'm just a kid.
She says that. And he goes, but you just said you weren't a kid. She goes, I'm not a kid. And he goes, but, and literally, you can see the poor shopkeeper. And it's all, like, text on the bottom of the screen, and then you can see, like, their facial expression changing. You know how it pops up the character that's talking. And he's just got this look on his face like, somebody save me. And I remember the first time I saw her, I was like 14 years old, and it was just, oh my god, I love this character. Already, I hope that she's gonna join my party, and of course, the next screen she does. So, yeah.
Cool.
That was my best LOL moment of the decade.
Chris?
My best, I have a bunch of moments. They're all in a game called Bard's Tale for the Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think they also make it for the PS2. Did they make it for the GameCube?
I know it was released on PS2 and Xbox.
They made it for the Tandy computer.
Oh, okay,
No,
well,
it's a different
old,
part.
besides, not the old school. Yeah.
Especially where you come across a Knuckleve, or a horse you bring back from the dead, and all hell breaks loose, and the narrator and your character are always bickering back and forth, and it's just funny. And if you can try to find it, I would recommend picking it up fully.
Cool. All right, next up we have best. I lost where I was at. Best mobile game. The only game I ever played on my phone. A couple of them included Tetris, so Tetris wins by default, and that's like some old school phone gaming.
I thought you meant mobile as in, like, portable.
Yeah, it is portable.
Like DS.
By mobile, I meant
PSP.
phone.
Oh. Or iPod Touch.
Or if you still want to do handhelds too, I mean that works too.
Can I say handheld and an iPod
Yeah,
Touch one?
sure.
Then? Okay, for my best mobile handheld, I'm going to say Space Invaders 2. Because it gives us so much fun. It's on the DS. And I think I'm going to have to give it to Chuzzles again. Chuzzles is just way too addicting.
Chris?
Mine is that cross construct for the droid. I don't know.
He never puts it down.
I don't know why that one's so much fun. It is though.
Cool.
But if you have a droid, they have a free version of it, so pick it up.
Cool. All right.
Best motion technology.
Best motion technology.
Wait, Dale, did you say your mobile?
I just said Tetris.
Oh, okay.
Lame.
I don't really have a official answer. That's the only game I really played on a cell phone.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I think I attempted. Well, I think you had Metal Slug on one of your older phones. I attempted to play that. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, I did.
Best motion technology. I just kind of put Wii Sports kind of by default. Probably ask me a few months from now, it might be different because I plan to play a ton of PlayStation Move stuff. I was actually charging my Move controllers the other day on PS3 while I was playing Yakuza. So maybe, several months down the line, my answer may be different. I got a few PlayStation Move games I'm looking forward to trying out here. So
cool.
But Chris, Liz, you guys got anything?
I said specifically EA Active. How, they have you strap the nunchuck to your leg and you're holding the Wiimote, and it uses those two things in conjunction to help you do the exercises, right? And honestly, as long as you stand at least 3 feet back from the sensor bar, it's really active. Or really accurate. So, yeah, that'd be mine.
I would have to go with EA Active as well. Just because it does seem to be the most on accuracy game for the Wii that I played.
I guess I'll give a shout out to 2 that I've read, intriguing stuff that I'd be, if I had Wii, I'd probably pick them up on Wii. I ended up picking one of them up on PS2, but Silent Hill Shattered Memories. The game is very, it's a horror game, but a lot of it's, you walk around with your flashlight and you hold the Wii remote like a flashlight, just, pointing it around there. And you can also take phone calls on the Wii and you hold it up to your phone, the Wiimote. You take phone calls, you get phone calls throughout the game, you hold it up to your ear, and then, the phone calls or voicemails get played out on the Wii speaker, so.
But you can't use the flashlight and the phone at the same time then, right?
Well, when the phone rings, I think it cuts to like the separate thing, and, then you hold it up.
Or you can hold a nunchuck for a flashlight.
Or maybe that's it,
I
yeah.
don't know. Something.
But,
although nunchuck doesn't have.
And then, Dead Space Extraction I'd be willing to try out, because I think you use guns, but you also use melee items in very interesting ways I heard in that game, so those are ones that intrigue me. All right, best non-2010, or I guess best non 2000 to 2010 game of 2000 to 2010.
Best
so I guess
non-decade game of the decade.
Yeah, there we go. So I guess if any game that came out before 2000 that you played the most or enjoyed the most last decade. Guys?
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Tactics. Oh, you played the shit out of that.
Yep.
I've got 2. I actually downloaded
Over 1,000 hours, right? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Probably. Well, yeah.
I think I remember you telling me you had over 1,000 hours. All right, Liz?
I have 2. First one is for PlayStation 1. I didn't get this game until 2002. Legend of Legaia. I absolutely, positively loved this game. I will still, to this day, I'll pop it in, and I'll start it over because it's just so much fun to play it from the beginning and go through it.
Would that be your best LOL moment too?
No, that was Legend of the Dragoon.
No, Legend of Legaia. LOL. Never mind.
You're a brat.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the one thing in this game, and it's so funny, there's this boss that everyone says it makes you put it on the shelf and never take it down again. If you don't do it right, it can. What you do is, okay, the quest is given to you at this level, then you get another 10 levels before you go do it. And then the other game,
Truth with almost all
I
bosses.
put an emulator on one of my laptops a long time ago, before I met Chris. And Dale's breaking things.
Breaking things.
Yeah, he is.
Excuse me. And then I had to slow the laptop down considerably, and it was horribly difficult to get this game to run. But then I got my Magic 1 to run on my laptop a few years ago.
Nice.
And I was just so stoked. Because, that was the very first computer game I ever played. So, just the whole remembering.
I guess I got a couple. New Tetris on N64. That came out in '99, so I ended up playing it a ton. And also, just it was my favorite Tetris game for a while. It was in a regular family rotation for at least a few years. And also Mario Kart 64, for what coming out in early '97, early N64 game.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Whenever I usually hook up N64 once or twice a year. That gets played every single time too. So Mario Kart 64, and the winner, StarCraft, original StarCraft. I played that game regularly online with friends, like almost once a month, and I guess in the first couple of years of the decade, at least a few times a month. Regularly online, I played it until 2003. I whipped it out a couple more times in the past few years also, but yeah, that game, just loved it. Still holds up, still is awesome. And I even created a little StarCraft fan page for a little while. I uploaded my replays on. So
Nice.
I tried downloading them, I think, last year sometimes, see if they work, but they wouldn't work because I guess it was an incompatible version or whatever. But
Do you have StarCraft loaded on your computer?
yep, still got old StarCraft installed. Yep. All right. Next up, did you guys?
Platform.
But yeah, that's what I got too. Best platform. I put 360.
I also put 360.
Oh, I thought it was platformers in platform games or something.
Oh no, best.
Okay, I'll go 360.
There was a platform game too, I think.
I
Was there? Oh.
I really liked my. For a little while, I was down on the PS2 when it kind of was the first system to ever kind of crap out on me.
Yeah, you hated the PS2.
I loved it for the first, I think, 2 years I had it.
And then you hated it when
And then I hated it because
out.
it crapped out on me. That never happened to me before, being young and super impressionable at that time. I held a grudge. I was pretty bitter for a few years. And then I came around to it again later because when my 360 crapped out multiple times, the PS2 had great legs and was still having awesome games come out on it years after the PS3 was out. So
Yeah, but you still had 360. Didn't you buy new ones or something?
yeah, I still no, it was covered under that warranty. So
Oh, the 3-year.
and for a while there too, my first 360 that came back to me from Microsoft Repair took 3 months because it got lost in UPS mail.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I was going back playing a lot of Xbox and PS2 games at the time. And ended up just really playing a lot of that stuff, coming back to it, and the other times my 360 crapped out, rolling out the PS2 and Xbox again, and just really coming around on it those last couple of years. It was really active in its game library releases, and really came around to it. And first, I didn't get a PS3 until like it was out for like a year and a half, and I didn't really play it. I only played it just here and there, but like these last like year especially, I've really played it a lot more. So really coming around it. But yeah, 360 is still all-time favorite of the past decade.
I'm on my, I don't know how many.
Portable's DS.
4 or 5.
It's my first original 360 I bought on launch day. That one crapped out, I don't know when. I sent it in to get, or no, I didn't send it in. I just went out to GameStop and bought a new one. Mm-hmm. And then the 3-year thing came out. So I'm like, oh, sweet, I'll send this in. And I didn't send it in for a while after that. I finally sent it in. The day I got the new 360 back, the one I bought at GameStop crapped out. Mm-hmm. That was good timing.
Yep.
So I sent that one in, got that 360, and then I think I sold it to my buddy.
Yep.
I don't even remember how many 360s.
I'm on my fourth one.
I think
it's bad. It's like a rite of passage to be a 360 owner to get the red rings of death.
I think I
Don't say that.
Right now,
it actually is.
Right now, I'm not.
Then I guess I'm not a 360 owner.
Well, your husband is, and he has. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Well, right now I don't. I upgrade 360s, but it's not because they red ring. It's because I find a cooler one out there. Mm-hmm. There was a stat that I saw. 23.7 360s.
Yeah.
23.7% of the 360s out
have
failed.
Seems a lot higher than that because almost everybody I talk to, almost
10% of the PS3s out have failed.
Yeah, or PS3 has over the last couple of years have been starting to, be a little higher than the old failure rates.
And only 2.7% of the Wii consoles have failed.
Wow. Yeah, that's Nintendo. They always have had great, really low failure rates.
The best sold console ever is not a Nintendo system.
What is it?
PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember hearing it break that record. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that just nationwide or worldwide?
I would assume nationwide.
Okay.
I'm hoping. 138 million PS2s.
I thought I heard the DS did better than that.
DS is at... wow. Let's see. The DS
is that it underneath it there in that next chart underneath?
Oh, yep. DS is at 125 million units.
And what's PS2?
PS2, I don't know if they have it on the scale.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
Well, this is just Nintendo systems. The other one I have is...
Oh, okay.
PS2 is at 138 million.
Oh.
So, about 13 million more than DS's.
Wow.
And I couldn't remember exact quotes, so I paraphrased.
That's right. Best quote of the decade. I had a few that stood out. You said you couldn't come up with any off the top of your head here, Chris?
All right. I have one quote.
What's that? ...
Every RPG main hero, every RPG.
Every silent protagonist?
Yes.
Is
every...
it Link? ...
Yeah.
There
That's the quote.
you go.
Okay.
Liz, what do you got?
I have two. One is from a game manual and one is from a game. My one from the game manual is from the Might and Magic 8 game manual. And the wizard looks at you, and you can see where he's looking at you through the crystal ball. And he goes, remember, this is very important. Crystal balls work both ways. Kind of...
Nice, I can see you.
Kind of pointing to, yes, I can see you, you can see me. You can see so-and-so, the destroyer, who you're basically hunting down. He can see you. And I remember it just kind of creeped me out, but at the same time it was like, oh, I have to defeat the destroyer now. And mine from a game is from the Halo 3 opening sequence, when you can see this meteorite falling from the sky, and you kind of have this idea that it's Master Chief. And you hear Cortana start to talk, and she goes, do you know why I chose you? And she answers her own question by saying, you're lucky. I don't know, there's just something about that just, I love it.
Yep. I got a few. Here's a classic one from the Fallout universe, I guess, from 1, 2, 3, New Vegas. War never changes. as Ron Perlman would say, anyways. And from Bullet Witch, actually. And this is from the ending. I don't know, slight spoiler for those that don't want Bullet Witch spoiled for them. Let's just say Miss Bullet Witch, well, she has some bad luck with helicopters throughout that game, right, Liz? And,
yes. Or aircraft in general.
Yeah, aircraft, yeah.
And aircraft in general.
And in the final level, like, you know, you're helping out, like, this squad of soldiers throughout the game, and, the squad leader, I forget his name at the time, but, he's like, oh, hey, and I guess, like, I forget the name of I don't think her name's Bullet Witch. I'm just calling her Miss Bullet Witch. I forget her name, but,
I don't remember,
she has
the Bullet Witch.
She has this, like, soul, or narrator inner demon voice or whatever, kind of like her Navi kind of for Link's Navi she has one of those kind of type helper characters just kind of guiding her around, or Cortana or however you want to say it. And the squad leader, after you kill the final boss, he's like, all right, hey, we're heading out of here, you need a lift. And the quote from that demon guy is like, whatever you do not get in that helicopter.
Nice.
That stood out for me when I was like looking through games and stuff. And another one here I got is from the Phoenix Wright series. It's so awesome. I have it as a message alert on my cell phone for new messages.
Objection.
Yep. So
nice.
I had it set to play right now, but I have my phone in silence mode, so it didn't play. So the classic objection. I'm going to get this to work though. What's that, Phoenix Wright? What did you have to say? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, and finally, one other one. Oh, the adoring fan in Oblivion. Whatever you say, Grand Champion.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I enjoyed killing that
Yes.
guy over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's the Nerevarine from Morrowind.
Alright, yeah, so those are just a bunch of them that come to mind. Alright, best swag. As in, I consider best swag, if you see a cool
An item you
t-shirt or
get
license
or
or
something.
pre-order bonus or something.
I can go first with this one. For my, I want to say my 15th birthday, 16th birthday, my parents got me this collection. And it had, like, Might and Magic 1 through Might and Magic 8 in it. And it came with maps for each world, but they weren't paper maps. They were canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Like actual cloth that you could hang on your wall.
Nice.
And I lost them many years ago, but, I still remember opening it up and being like, oh my gosh. Like, they never tore or anything, and it's just awesome because, in Might and Magic, you depend on those maps.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to use the map or you're going to get lost.
Chris.
I think I'll go with Lunar Silver Star Story, or is it the Lunar Collection for the PS1?
That came out in 2000?
I don't know when it come out. You know dates. Come on, Dale. Come on.
I could tell you.
Come on, Dale.
Let's just say it came out in 2000 for the
Okay,
no, just one time, Chris. So let us slide.
All right. I don't know when it came out. I know I always wanted it. I never picked it up though. But it came with maps, and it came with a whole bunch of design books and
It's the best swag you desire to own.
best swag I desired. But I couldn't pick it up because even then, when it first came out, it was like $150.
It's crazy. All right. I guess for me, I put the Lizzie mentioned this earlier. For pre-ordering Zelda Wind Waker, you got Zelda Ocarina of Time and the Ocarina of Time Master Quest for free for GameCube.
Nice.
So that's my best
And
way.
Majora's Mask.
No, that was a separate thing. That was like actual Nintendo Power bonus. A Nintendo Power did a special.
Down there.
Nintendo
Majora's
Power
Mask.
did a special separate thing where if you subscribed or renewed your subscription to Nintendo Power, you got a GameCube disc with the 2 Zeldas for Nintendo and the 2 Zeldas for N64 on it.
But Majora's Mask was for the 64.
Yep. The one that came with Chris is getting up and checking. The one that came with
It's even still there anymore.
No, the one that came with for pre-ordering Wind Waker. You got 2 Zelda games, but the Master Quest was unreleased, formerly only in Japan like bonus game of Ocarina of Time. It should say Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time Master Quest.
Yep.
Yeah, so. Yep, so. I am right!
Damn you.
Alright, best story. This should be an interesting one. This one's kind of hard to pick. Oh, Liz looks like she wants to say. Go.
Legend of the Dragon!
Legend of the Dragoon.
Because, it's this whole quest of, Dart's like, I'm just looking for my father, and I'm looking for what all this means, and then all of a sudden Shanna gets kidnapped. He's like, no, don't take her, and there are so many twists.
What's a twist?
Like, you think you just got it figured out, and then you're like, holy crappers! I can remember, because my parents had me actually help them finish their games, and then I finished my game. So I've actually finished this game at least 4 times.
Wow.
I'd find something for the first time, and I'd run out to the horse barn, which was on the other side of the property. I'd be like, Mom, and our whole family was into this game. And, we would have conversations about it, and I'd tell her all these things. She'd be like, oh, are you serious? And we'd go back in and we'd watch the cutscene together. And
Cool.
so, the story just drew us in, and it was just awesome.
Cool.
I got my story out of the way.
Chris.
I'll go for Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross.
Just because it's weird how the parallel dimensions come together and
You don't sound too enthused about it.
well, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it.
When your best way to explain it was, I don't know, man. You're not selling me on it.
It's been a long time since I played it. Okay.
I know. Okay. It was like it sounded like one of those things at the time you just absolutely loved it.
It came out in like January of 2000.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
double
it's right
check
on the
while
edge.
you attempt to explain it.
I checked. It came out in
Oh.
like January, February 2000.
Still gonna check just to prove you're wrong.
Okay. Oh, it came out in March. But you wake up as a kid, like, all other RPGs out there. And
Oh, November of '99.
what?
Yeah, it's Japan.
In Japan,
Well,
you
yeah,
bastard.
but that's not in
I know.
America.
November of 2000.
That's not in
Oh,
America.
November 2000?
Yep.
Oh.
No, wait.
Because
August
Dragon-
of 2000.
Yeah, because
Oh.
Dragoon came out in '99 in Japan and 2000 in America.
Yeah, I know. I was giving you grief.
Dale's a bastard.
Good at that.
Sorry. So that's your pick then, huh?
Yeah, you kind of have to play it to
Get it?
get it. I'll kind of have to play it to explain it again, too. I can remember thinking at the time.
I just
holy
remember
crap.
when it came, when we brought it up on the PS1 installment of the RPG retrospective. I believe it was episode 75, actually. Our special guest, Steve, hated it. And he just ripped the game a new one. I remember, I think you and Scott loved the game. You guys were just in shock while he just ripped the game a new one.
Yeah. And that's why Steve is no longer here.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's one of those games I remember hearing that game kind of has a share of, like, Final Fantasy VIII kind of has a share of love and hate.
Yeah, it does.
You don't just kind of like it, you either love it or you hate it.
Yep.
Final Fantasy is a piece of crap, though.
So you're on the hate it side.
No, I love it. I love that piece of crap.
I remember everyone hated on 8 on that episode too. That was great. I guess best story for me. It was kind of tough. I got 2 picks here. One is like the Shenmue saga, 1 and 2 there, and maybe on paper just like like avenge your father's death, but how you get there is really cool. You meet a great cast of characters, and I just dug the whole Japanese culture and setting, and being one of the first big 3D open world games too, you just reeled me right in, and I dug each and every part of that story. Fuku-san, I will always cherish your piggy bank.
Okay then.
Changing subject.
And also,
Best strategy guide.
no, Red Dead Redemption was my other one.
Okay.
Because that game just nailed that Wild West setting. And I'll give like a special honorable mention to most of the Grand Theft Autos. Those all deliver good stories, but I think Red Dead Redemption usurped them all.
Mm.
Great beginning, middle, and loved it. So there you go. Best strategy guide, Liz. You were saying?
Might and Magic 8 for me. Because it was written in that story format.
Okay.
And Might and Magic 8 was the first one that they included a second disc with the game, rather than including a paper manual with your game. They gave you a disc. And what was on this disc was a PDF of the game manual. So you could, and they set it up so that you could at any time access the manual from in-game and search for a specific thing, or you could print it off and, put it in a binder or something.
Yeah.
It was just great.
No, that's like more and more, almost all computer games are doing that now. Like,
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
REMI file's pretty much like a big instruction manual. And
Yeah, there's. It's annoying. I hate having PDF instruction
part of me
manuals.
misses is having that tangible
I
manual.
liked it.
I mean, it's cool, but
Well, and what we did is we printed it off, duplex printing, and bound it.
or
So, I mean, we still had it in a book form, but you could also, while you're in the game, click on this little button, type in the quest that you're working on, and it would pop up a walkthrough for you.
yeah, a lot of PC strategy games came with like
No
either
internet connection required.
big ass manuals or mini strategy guides. Like Wizardry 8 came with a nice mini strategy guide.
It started yelling at me at 8%.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess for me, my best strategy guide is the Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. I don't really buy too many strategy guides. I got a few, like if GameStop, I happen to get in there when they're pennying out their old strategy guides. They do that from time to time. I got a few of those, but like I actually bought the Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition, and it's been very helpful for me whenever I feel like picking up that game. And yeah, that's a good one. I really like that one.
I would have to go to Zelda Twilight Princess for the, GameCube and Wii. They're the same.
Now you're just talking about the design of it, right? Not
Yeah, the design.
yeah.
They're not the actual usefulness of it,
Mhm.
but it's there were two different versions of it. There was a $20 and a $30. I bought the 30. It's like a hardcover. It's pleather. It feels like leather, but I'm sure it's not.
Mhm.
The pages are all gold leaf pages. It had a felt map in there. It had a fabric bookmark. You can bookmark your spot. So it was cool. And it just had the Triforce on the front of it, on the cover.
It
Yeah,
is a very nice
I remember it. Yeah. You got any runners up? I remember you're a big collector of strategy guides.
As far as
So-
usefulness,
Yeah, like what about usefulness best strategy guide?
usefulness, I'll still have to go with the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy, Brady games always,
Prince of Persia.
Well, I
Brady
guess,
games always did a good job at that.
Yeah.
I guess I will say,
But
I
Primo's a
reference
piece of crap.
I reference a lot of game facts guides throughout the year. I don't know if that really counts, but I thought some of the authors on there kind of made it really, really entertaining to use their strategy guide and not just I'm just going to go here and find out how to get past this, but I know they'll throw in a lot of their own jokes and stuff. And as much as I hate to say it, for Siberia 1 and 2, I probably played through like 80 to 90% of both of those games using a strategy guide because the puzzles were throwing me off nonstop. And the authors made it fun. I mean, they didn't really do plot spoilers at all. So they didn't really do spoilers, but they cracked a lot of jokes about the events that were happening and made it just like not only was I in a weird way. I don't know if you ever got this. This is probably gonna sound dorky as hell. Dreading. As much as looking forward to finishing the game, you're just dreading finishing a great game, but you're also dreading the end of the strategy guide.
I can get you when you're saying dreading the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, when we get a character to 65 on Lotro, it's
Like,
just like...
oh, it's time to retire this character, but I want to.
Or like when we finished the newest area, Endoath, in the game, we did every single quest. And I think we wandered around once we finished them for about half an hour. Like, now what do we do?
Repeatables.
All right. Best surprise. What do you guys got?
I have one, but it's a spoiler.
I got one that's kind of a spoiler too, so we'll just give a brief spoiler warning. And if you guys want to fast forward ahead to like 30 seconds or so.
Okay, my spoiler is from Legend of the Dragoon. And it was just... I think if I were to play through the game for the first time today, I would have expected this. but I was naive. And it was when, Rose and Dart meet Zeke, which is Dart's father. And you find out that Zeke and Rose were lovers before Zeke met Dart's father, and you're just like, what? Huh? I remember it blew my mind away. That's the only way I can explain it. It blew my mind away, and I'm like, no wonder that she always talks to him and she treats him and it just all fell into place, but it was also this huge...
I was wondering why that bedroom scene just went black.
Chris, you got one?
Mine is from Final Fantasy X.
Mm-hmm.
Titus.
Oh, do we gotta give a spoiler warning?
Yes.
Okay, fast forward, people. Spoiler warning about Titus's adventure in 10.
He's dead.
Oh no. The entire time?
Well, yes, he was part of a... Well, he's not really dead. He's not really living. He's a dream. Dreamt up by the... I forget what they call him. But dreamt up by these ancient races.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
And it's just...
Really caught you off guard?
Yeah, I did when I heard it.
Damn. Did you hear about it beforehand, or did you...
No.
I happened to...
As
it happened?
Yeah, because I beat the game about 2 weeks after it came out.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
there wasn't a lot of beforehand
Yeah.
stuff.
All right. For me, I kind of got a best surprise storyline moment. I also got a best surprise. This just kind of came to mind when I was thinking of it. It wasn't what I originally intended for this award to be, but surprise breakout hit of the decade. I'll go for storyline surprise. Chris, you should know this one because you played through this game with me in co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Original Halo, The Flood.
Okay. Flood. Shit, bastards.
Not that that's the biggest sport, because come on, who has a play
How's
original
that a surprise?
Halo? Yeah. No, they didn't emerge into the game to the halfway point of the
Yeah.
I
game.
suppose, yeah.
And
Halo 1 is the very
yeah,
first.
the whole first part, you think you're just battling the Covenant,
Right,
the
then you
evil
get the
bad
second
aliens,
foe.
and then all of a sudden it's and the build up to it too. It's like, wait a second, what's happening here? And you're trying to track down Commander Keyes, and then you find footage of you've barely seen on camera. I'm like, wait, who are these guys? What's up with this? Then you find out it's this whole other alien race, and it's just like, oh crap! And they're even
not
just
even a race,
as
they're a parasite.
they're a parasite, just
Yeah.
as much of a threat than the Covenant. So
More so of a threat.
yeah, so it's just like,
They have
oh,
no distinction.
yep.
Right.
So, yeah, that was my best surprise storyline moment. I should have hit the fan for that one. And for best surprise breakout hit, and I was just surprised by the way the thing became a phenomenon that, well, at least, I think it died down this year. But Guitar Hero. I was surprised that thing took off like it did. Because I remember seeing it.
Took off really strong.
I was up at E3 it debuted in 2005. It wasn't in the big... Back in the E3 when its old format was in 3 convention halls. There's the 2 big ones where Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, all the big publishers were. And then there's one where all the small European publishers or all the weird gadget makers or PC accessory guys were at. And there's a lot of obscure stuff or just lesser known game companies in there. And I remember just walking around just kind of trying out stuff, writing up reports and I remember seeing Guitar Hero and just briefly trying it out, and I remember liking the soundtrack and just the whole concept of it. And I remember asking the guy, I'm like, "Well, this is the soundtrack you're going for?" And it's just like, "Wow, I think I can get behind this." And back then, its old launch price, I remember for PS2 was $70, and that wasn't that much of a buy-in price, and as it kept on going up to be. But yeah, I just remember. And I remember getting it, and I was just thinking, I bet my friends are going to love this. I remember breaking it out. I think you came over for the holidays, and family came over for the holidays. I remember it won you over. It won, even my sister got into it. She was like it. My dad got into it, and Scott.
And do you remember how excited we were that I just beat I Love Rock and Roll on easy?
Yeah. And I just remember going, all right, guys, I don't know. I think I'm ready to step up to medium. And we're like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And yeah, so many great memories. And just, before the days of Rock Band where we're all playing together and, or online multiplayer, just for Guitar Hero 1 and 2, we got our kicks just passing the guitar around, picking songs and seeing if we could beat each other's local high score.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Guitar Hero with best surprise breakout hit.
That was fun.
I'm just surprised the thing became the phenomenon and as big a fad as it looks like it's turning out to be a fad, unfortunately. Because there was only one Guitar Hero game this year, and the year before, that was an Activision flood to the market with, like, 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Well, I think it's because they overdid it.
Yeah. Alright, best...
I have best use of It's Dangerous to Go Alone.
Okay, what's that?
Okay. Mine actually comes from Lotro.
Oh.
And
Lotro.
it's a class quest. When I was playing my hunter, Celestiana, and I was in Mori, and I got this quest to go and kill Drag. And it said, in big red letters, it was like, be sure that you take friends with you, because you won't be able to do this alone. You cannot do this alone.
It's
And I'm
dangerous
sitting
to
there,
go
and I'm
alone.
like, it can't be that bad. That first boss in Grand Stair killed me 5 times. Before
Yep.
I realized there was no possible way I was going to solo that. Especially at level 55.
Yeah, no.
It was a month and a half later when I got a group to take me into the Grand Stair and do my Hunter class quest. But I just think of how naive I was. And then, the later quests, especially for the Hunter or anyone, when you have to go into Karen Doom. And it tells you, be sure that you have friends with you. You don't want to partake this mission alone. And, you get into the first part, and it's like, okay, the trash mobs could be soloable, depending on what class you're playing. Then you get to the boss.
No.
There's no possible way to do it alone. So, I think that is the best use of It's Dangerous to Go Alone.
So, are you still going to go 3D Game Heroes, Chris?
Sure.
Alright.
Yep.
I didn't have one for that, or that Michael Jordan one I used for last year. It was just pretty much just for 2K11. I'm not going to do that for a best of the decade thing. Best underdog. What do you guys got, Chris?
Well, when I first heard about this game for the Xbox, I was like, nah, I'll just let it go, and it doesn't look interesting to me. But I got to GameStop, and I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, how many copies of this game do you have? Just one. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll pick it up and give me a strategy guide. The original Fable. I loved it.
Yeah, how was that game an underdog, though? It was like pretty much a big success right from the get-go.
It's an underdog because it disappointed so many people.
Yeah, I guess.
Because of what Molyneux promised.
Yeah.
And
It's still got, good reviews across the board, but yeah, I remember a lot of people being pissed because, it didn't deliver on, like you said, what it promised. So, wow.
I think it's underdog because when people think of Fable, they say Fable 2 or 3, but I think Fable 1's still the best one.
Cool. Liz.
I said Crusaders of Might and Magic because this was the first console game that Might and Magic tried. It came out in 2000 for the PlayStation 1, and they tried a lot of new things. Like, they backed the camera off so it was third person. You only had one person in your party that you were controlling. You had to actually maneuver your character. But it wasn't advertised. Like, no one ever heard about it. Like, we stumbled upon it by accident. We were at the game store. I had just gotten a PlayStation for my birthday the year before. And, we're looking at the game store, and that was the day, this happened to be the same day that my mom grabbed, also I got Legaia in 2000 then. My mom grabbed Legend of the Dragoon, she grabbed Legend of Legaia, and she grabbed this Crusaders of Might and Magic game. And, we played through it, and it was just like, this was actually pretty good. They actually did a pretty decent job. But Might and Magic, they didn't really do very many games like that. I think they did 2 more, and that was it.
Damn.
I mean, for as many games as they've put out, I think they've put out 10, 15, about 20 games now.
Mm-hmm.
And only 3 of them have been in that style. The rest of them have either been way far out real-time strategy, or...
Send them some email. Tell them to return back.
No, because that was when...
3DO was still making them, yeah.
3DO. It's not 3DO anymore, it's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft can't put out a good Might and Magic game.
Well, I thought you liked that Clash of Heroes.
Clash of Heroes.
That DS one. I remember you were pretty high on it at the time.
It was pretty decent for an Ubisoft Might and Magic game.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It was also a puzzle game, right? Pretty much.
No.
Oh, no? Okay, I'm thinking of
No,
something.
they attempted to do real-time strategy their way. And
Right.
they're still trying to figure out how real-time strategy should work with Might and Magic. And it's like, just go back to 3DO's formula. I mean, honestly.
I actually just read, if you go to GameInformer.com and search Might and Magic, they had a pretty good article on, like, the history of the series recently.
Really?
Yep, I think Phil Kohler wrote it.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it was a really good read. I think you might dig it.
I mean, my only complaint with it is when 3DO took over Might and Magic, they expanded it and they made it awesome.
They talked about that. They said they
And-
kept pumping out yearly installments to the point of where they just overdid it.
And when Ubisoft took it over, they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was a good change. So.
I guess I'll say for my best underdog, I just put the Dreamcast.
Oh, yeah.
Because, almost from the get-go, but, like, you really notice it once people, even though it had, like, the best console launch in America when it launched, everyone you talked to was holding out for the PS2, it seemed like. I remember you had one, Chris, and we played the hell of our Dreamcast, and may not have realized it at the time how shortly doomed it was, but, the PS2 absolutely crushed it once it came out. Dreamcast sales dropped so bad, and software sales dropped so bad, within 3 months, Sega announced they were canceling it by year's end of 2001, so, and, like, even from the get-go, the fingerprints the hints were there that things weren't right. EA wouldn't support it because they just couldn't trust Sega anymore to get behind their systems after, like the shortcomings of the Sega CD, the 32X, the Saturn, and them, dropping support from their systems, twice as fast than the average, console manufacturer.
But the Saturn was a really good console. I love that console.
And so was the Dreamcast. I loved it, but,
and the Dreamcast was. The Saturn
and
was.
And the fact compared that, when the GameCube and Xbox and PS2 came about, they were just so much more powerful than the Dreamcast that,
But the Dreamcast actually used, the games used technologies that we still use here today.
Oh, yeah.
On all these games.
Windows CE.
No. It uses like,
Naomi.
the rendering technologies that we use still.
Yep.
Today.
ADX, I think that was one of the ones that came out of there.
Okay.
Yep.
And a whole bunch
Soft
of
Deck, I think, was another one. I don't know. I could probably get them wrong.
And the Saturn, well, that was... They doomed it themselves. They tried to compete with the PlayStation in the 3D realm, and Saturn was never designed to go 3D. So 2D games, it did very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people say, Marvel vs. Capcom. Or do they have that? Or one of those games like that. 2D Fighter was the best in Saturn.
They got 1 and 2 and Power Stone 2, 1 and 2, great fighters, all of them, yep. Dead or Alive 2, yep.
But, they say 3, no, on the Saturn.
Oh, okay.
2D fighters were the best in the Saturn.
Yeah,
Better
yep.
than the PlayStation
Saturn was
1.
more optimized for 2D than PS1. All right, cool. Well, folks,
We're going to break it up a little.
We're going to make this a two-parter. We kind of did a quick timeout not too long ago, and we realized we have such a huge list of awards, and we just don't want to rush through these. We want to give each category its just due, and we're already gone on long enough. We're about at the halfway point. And,
Not really.
Not really, because like with all our listener awards factored in and our top 20, we're gonna have to really amp this up for our part 2 if we want to get it done within 2.5 hours, I'm thinking. So, yeah,
because right now we're at like 7 hours.
Yeah. Now we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes right now, and, so we're gonna amp this up for our last part, for part 2, hopefully. Hopefully there won't need to be a part 3, but you never know.
If there is, there is.
Hopefully you guys have been enjoying listening to this as much as we've been reminiscing about this past decade. And also, part 2 we'll be recording on February 10th, which is our 5-year anniversary of the podcast.
And we
Happy
will have
birthday,
our
on
top
tap.
20,
Yes.
if not a top 30 by then.
No,
You never know, I might add to it.
Gosh.
Yeah, you better not.
Anything else is be quick little honorable mentions. Because I already had a few honorable
She'll have
mentions.
20 honorable mentions. And
Only 20?
Yeah. But we want you guys to be there, and gosh, yeah, we if you guys be on the chat box, I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe doing a couple Insta prizes, maybe to people hanging around in the chat box, or people who have questions to ask, or anything to comment on the past 5 years of the show. Send an email to mailbag@ontappodcast.com. And
now Dale can't do it.
I just mispronounced it. I knew what I was saying. I just
Smile bye.
mispronounced it.
Hey, how about this? If we get listeners in the chat box, we have like a drawing of some sort, and whoever wins
$20 points card.
Well, whoever wins the drawing gets like $15 to spend on whatever they want at MGC from one of us or all three of us.
That's not fair because not everyone's going to be at MGC.
Oh, this is true.
I guess it's
So I think the nice kind of good old standby gift is a $20 points card to system of their
valid
choice.
for U.S. only.
Yeah, U.S. only. I had to
'Cause,
order off Amazon Canada, and it just ended up being all crazy last time. All these extra workarounds. Unfortunately, just limited to U.S. only, but we still love everyone to be there. Join us. There will be links on the Ustream for our Ustream page on our homepage at ontappodcast.com or on the VG Evo forums. So
You know what? Maybe we can find something for non-U.S. residents.
yeah, we'll think of something. So
Figure something out.
Yeah.
but we love you guys all to be there. February 10th, probably we're shooting for like 6 p.m.-ish Central Time. So that'd be 7 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. So no, 4 Pacific.
4.
But, yeah. So please
Then
be
5
there.
o'clock, that other time zone that we
5-year
don't
anniversary
care about.
should be awesome.
Yeah.
Will be fun.
Will be a
All right.
blast.
And we'll see you guys.
Thanks for
Adios.
listening, everyone.